We start off seeing our big three pulling up to Josie's Joey. Matt and Karen are chopping it up as we see Foggy with a baddie. But hold on, we see there's a new vigilante on the block and his name is White Tiger. I wonder if he'll team up with Daredevil. But nonetheless, the baddie is applying pressure on Foggy. Even Karen knows Foggy isn't built for this. This is far outside his shooting range.
Don't underestimate our Foggy.
I'm not underestimating her.
Matt starts listening in, hearing the atrocious game of Foggy.
I have learned ninja moves at my time at NM&P.
No. Rescue him? Hell no. I just wish we had popcorn.
But the show gets canceled due to Foggy getting a call. Matthew is closely listening in, hearing the terrible news.
There's someone downstairs.
As we begin to see the break-in. Yes, sir. We already know who it is. The team groups up as Foggy's brother is still on the line, begging, pleading for help as a ruckus begins to take over the sound barrier.
Stay here.
Matthew begins heading off, swinging to the building, making his move, but then he hears the voice of Foggy.
Are you okay? Foggy, he wanted to know where you were. I'm sorry.
As we see Bullseye aiming, Matthew books it. As we see Foggy and Karen, they are both... Foggy has been shot. Two guards walk out, getting that same treatment. And then from the fog, we see Bullseye point Dexter, throwing smoke.
Hello, Karen.
Karen is about to get walked down, but Matt comes in swinging. Now, I'm gonna need you guys to focus because the way Bullseye fights is so goated. Bully chucks smoke, offs an innocent. Matt grabs the stick, gut check into a disarm, then starts unloading, knocking Bully down, throws the knife away, but Bully had two. As these boys start banging out, keep the Tehun kick. Bully is currently getting mollywopped. We check on Foggy, and it's not looking good. Smack with the baton, hit another Tehun. Did you see that? As Matthew was going for the kick, Bullseye threw the knife, ricocheting it. But that's not the impressive part, because he ricocheted it off himself. Do you know how many calculations need to go into a move like this? Bully hits a civilian, so Matt cuts the lights, welcoming Bullseye to his world. As we see the civilians safely hiding. Actually, no. We see the civilians hiding. Now, once again, I'm gonna need you guys to focus. Bully starts getting up, but Matthew knows what he's planning as he grabs the man. Bully throws a baton that hits Matt. But did you peep what just happened? Whilst he threw the baton, the lady whacks him with a pull stick. So he hit her with a hole-in-one, then throws two balls, but the lady gets hit as Bully continues trying to escape. His girlfriend starts screaming in terror. Shut up! Matthew's pulling up. Lights out, but the flickers are more than enough. Bully hits Matt, but Matt gets his get back. And right here, there's so much going on. I just hope your eyes caught it all. Bullseye throws, but Matt outplays him, listening to the voice of Karen speaking to Foggy. Dexter proceeds crawling upstairs, heading to the rooftop, but the devil isn't letting him go that easy. Peep the block into a Roman ring. Stay down! Daredevil removes Bullseye's drip, but gets whacked. Bullseye tries escaping, but the devil is at his heels. And he's piecing Bully up as we see Foggy holding on, staying strong, but time is of the essence. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of it.
Jesus Christ!
Foggy has passed away. Matthew starts asking Point Dexter, why? Why would you do this? But all he does is laugh in Matthew's face. Matthew threw him 4 stories down. And for those of you who do not know, Matthew Murdock, Daredevil, has a strict no-kill rule. But the pain of losing Foggy, his best friend, was too much to bear as he removes the mask. But Matthew's identity being revealed is the least of his worries because Point Dexter, Bullseye, is still alive. Matthew discards the mask, falling into despair. Now, question. Matthew did try to kill Bullseye, but he didn't. So is this still considered breaking his code because he had intent to kill? Or is it water under the bridge because he didn't get the kill? As we fast forward 1 year, we see this plate of food being eaten by Wilson Fisk. And if you remember what happened last season, then you're probably wondering, how is he free? And I'm not sure, but But who cares? We see while Fisk was gone, Vanessa was running the business. But in the midst of their meeting, the Kingpin returns. Vanessa can't believe it as the scum scatter. Fisk begins telling his story, but we don't have time for that. So just get to the point, Baldy.
I've been informed that I have the 25,000 signatures.
We will find out what that means in a jiffy. As Matthew heads to work, we see the baddie, and she checks up on Matthew before he takes the stage. The stage to sentence Point Dexter.
It occurs to me that justice will not be served today. Because whatever sentence is passed, Foggy Nelson will still be dead.
Point Dexter is done with this. He just wants to be sentenced and call it a day. But then Matthew begins hearing footsteps as we see Karen walk in. Matthew is at a loss of breath but regains himself, continuing his testimony.
If you would like to respond, I will allow that before sentencing.
I have nothing to say, Your Honor.
Your response does not surprise me.
Point Dexter now gets convicted of 11 counts of murder in first degree. So, in other words, GG. We now go to Karen, and she is looking... Not the time, Joshua! Not the time. These boys begin chopping it up. Well, I don't know if chopping it up is the proper word to use.
I just was busy.
Oh, don't give me busy. I can't.
My friend died too, man. And then I lost you. You didn't talk to me for weeks.
Dang. When you guys are in a lowly situation, do you take the Daredevil route and isolate? Or do you take the Nightwing route and lean on your friends? Let me know. As Karen asks Matthew the $1 million question.
What are you gonna do about Daredevil?
I'm not him anymore.
Blah, blah, blah. Karen stands, giving Matthew whatever this is, then takes her leave. Fast forward, we see Matthew chefing it up when he hears something unbelievable, that being the voice of Fisk. Matthew turns on the news, seeing the man himself declaring for mayor. The news was so devastating, Matt burned his food. Fast forward, the baddie gives Matt a client that needs a lawyer urgently, so now we gotta go handle that. But on the way there, we hear the voices of those supporting Fisk, those shaming Fisk, and all those in between. As we make it to the coffee shop, Heather pulls up.
Kirsten said that you were looking for a therapist.
Yeah, she told me you're looking for a lawyer.
The baddie was playing Cupid, stupid, and Matthew was not fond of this.
It is kind of funny.
What a waste of time.
And although this isn't what either of them wanted, Matt can sense she's a baddie, and the baddie can sense he's a dude. So they make the most of this, starting to click.
You can need a little something if you know what I mean.
Matthew is jolly, but is hiding it. Can't let the baddie know she was right. Matt gets greeted by Cherry, where they begin talking about Fisk. And unfortunately, Matt isn't gonna let the devil out! But he will do something else, as we see Fisk greeting his supporters, and then sees him, Matthew Murdock. These boys are now in a face-off, with Matthew asking for a chat. And now these two former foes are having coffee together.
About your friend, I had nothing to do with his death. I kept that promise.
And because Matt is a built-in lie detector, he knows Fisk is telling the truth, but he's still skeptical, considering it's, Fisk. But we'll worry about that later. Wilson asked the question we are all thinking.
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
The line was crossed.
If you remember at the start of the episode, Matthew threw Bullseye off the building, full intent on turning him into a Splatoon character. But nonetheless, Fisk tells Matt when, not if, when he becomes mayor, there will be consequences should he ever return to being the devil. As Matt takes his leave, going on a date, when he hears the shocking, devastating, horrendous news.
We won. Fisk won.
Matt is currently in math class. As we see people starting to rally, we check on Fisk and he tells Vanessa.
I know about Adam.
Vanessa was with another man, and all she can say is,
Do not kill him.
remember that. As for Matthew, him and Heather have a embraceful goodbye. Fast forward, Fisk is now giving a speech. Matthew is at the crib watching, looking like Say watching Bunny, as Fisk says,
We know how to take care of ourselves. We don't need a gun-toting vigilante who wears a skull on his chest, or a man who dresses in a spider outfit, or a guy who wears devil horns to save us.
that Spider-Man name drop was code for no reason. But real quick, we see this dude walking down the subway, seeing this guy get picked on. Brody hangs up the phone and starts pursuing, trying talk no jutsu, but that doesn't work. So he will speak to these bozos in a language they understand. Violence! Knocking down loser 1, but his teammate got backdoor. The civilian starts escaping as we see our knight holding it down. Green Jacket comes back, but he's light work. And then... Yikes. And to make matters worse,
NYPD, do not
not move!
You can't make this up. Well, actually, it's fictional, so I guess you can. We are now at the precinct where Matthew hears some dirty cops, so he makes his way, meeting our hero from the subway, who is named Hector, and begins telling Matthew the story. And judging from the heartbeat, he's not lying. That was until...
Is there anything you're not telling me?
that heart rate is increasing vividly. Matthew decides to investigate a little more on this guy, getting some assistance from his comrade. And bro finds his amulet and drip, so he calls up Matt, letting him know.
White Tiger.
Hector is the White Tiger.
I wasn't in a suit or wearing my amulet. I had no extra powers. It's not relevant.
It's relevant.
This is big news, but it's okay because now all the cards are on the table, which means he now knows all the ways he can win. But real quick, let's check on Fisk. We see Fisk getting greeted by the commissioner, who will be resigning from his position because he hates Fisk. But before he leaves, Fisk starts talking about Philly cheesesteaks.
Cheesesteaks are great in Philly. I think that the best is one I found. D'Angelo's.
The commissioner's face drops because under that wrapper, he sees his family. Joshua, how did his family fit under a wrapper? I'm so funny. Because under that wrapper, he sees a picture of his family. And after playing that insanely devious card, this starts rubbing salt in the wound.
As far as a pay raise, 0. And when it comes to overtime minimums, none.
The commissioner has no choice but to resign from his resignation. But now we go to Matt. He confessed that Hector is White Tiger.
The jury will be deliberating about the tragic events of a single evening. The proceedings must rest not on my client's clothing, but what happened on the platform that night.
And with that, Mr. Murdoch secures the dub.
The people are directed not to discuss or introduce any evidence of Hector Ayala's life as White Tiger.
Remember this moment. It will be very important. But the job's not finished. Matt pulls up on Cherry, who hasn't found anything on the witness, so Matthew takes his leave. Tracking the officer, Matthew is right on his tail. Idiot. But the chase continues. But before Matthew makes a move, Heather hits his line, asking to rain check their date. Perfect. Uh-oh, not so perfect. Actually, false alarm. Vanessa and Fisk are getting couples therapy as Matt is still stalking his prey.
Yeah, he's at 950 West 185th Street.
Let's get a move on. Matthew pulls up.
But I'm here to help. You can trust me.
Matt tells Nikki that he's the key witness, explaining all this mumbo-jumbo humana that's currently going on.
They're already here.
But Nikki doesn't trust Matt's judgment until he hears that banging. Matthew sends Nikki off, telling him to find Cherry. Matthew opens the door, and Mr. Krupp pins him to the wall and starts questioning.
Where'd he go? Listen, man, I'm visually impaired. I'd love to help.
Gut check, slam him, then start putting the hurts on him.
Go ahead. Don't do this.
Matthew tries to warn these Nimrods, but they are too far gone as he aims the stick. Get that out of my face! Breaks the arm, then slams that little man on the floor. Reverse the tackle, peep the look of insanity as he throws the bozo into the fridge, then slams him on his noggin. And unfortunately, we see his glasses are cracked. Feels great, doesn't it? Matt goes to meet Hector, where he tells us about this beach in Puerto Rico.
White sand and the cookie. This little tree frog doesn't croak. It sings its name.
But enough of that. We now go to court, and this bozo is lying through his teeth.
Next thing I know, the guy just takes Cal and he just pushes him in front of the train.
Hilarious. But now it's Matt's turn to cook.
I'm told you have a black eye. I hope everything is okay. You know, there's this thing they say in boxing, the best cure for a black eye is fast hands.
Objection.
But enough jokes. Now it's time to start grilling.
Okay, so you're alone, which means there certainly wasn't a confidential informant you were roughing up.
And then name drops Nikki, but the cop denies knowing that person.
It's curious, because as I understand it, Nikki Torres is a confidential informant, used to work with the NYPD. In fact, used to work with you and Officer Shanahan directly.
The temperature is rising as we see Cherry prepping the escort. And let's just say the ride was bumpy, but he makes it. Now let's get to the juice.
Were you passing along the information to Officer Shanahan and Powell? No. I was home all night.
You weak-willed dust mite. The situation is now terrible, but it's not over. Hector takes the stand, giving his side of the story. But that won't be enough to prove his innocence. It's time to play our trump card.
You decided to risk your own safety to help a stranger. Wasn't the first time, was it?
Now, if you were paying attention, you know exactly where Matt is going with this.
You intervened that night because you're a hero.
Matt, don't do this.
Mr. Ayala, yes or no? Are you the vigilante known as the White Tiger?
Objection!
Matt sends the courtroom into chaos. And if you remember, Matthew was the one that demanded to not have White Tiger revealed. The judge calls both these boys to the chamber. The judge starts laying in on Matt.
Wasn't my intention, Your Honor. They somehow got to my star witness. My hand was forced.
The judge is currently in a pickle, but comes to a final verdict. Since Matthew opened this wound, he can't complain if the opposition rubs salt in it. As we see, Hector is not pleased, but he'll get over it. Back to trial. These citizens are telling their stories of being saved by the White Tiger, and even the cops have stories of being helped by White Tiger. So with all this evidence, Matthew starts feasting, comboing these boys up with his words. The ops try to plead their case, but it's futile.
The jury finds the defendant not guilty.
Innocence has prevailed. Fisk is watching heated because he hates, despises any and all vigilantes. But boo-hoo, bozo. Matthew is up right now, cooking for his baddie, as we see Hector getting suited up, running to save someone's life. Hector gets off by a man dressed as the Punisher. Matthew finds out the devastating news as Hector's niece pulls up.
Got him out of jail. A lot of good that did him, huh?
She's currently feeling all types of emotions, so we gotta breeze past that statement. Matthew tries to console Hector's niece, but she is no fool, no dummy. She understands what happened. Her anger is oozing, but gets overwhelmed by her sadness. As we see this weirdo carrying a body, and that's all we got for now, because we see this dude getting arrested for stealing caramel corn.
I paid for that shit last week.
Unfortunately, it doesn't really work like that. Generally, you pay for what you buy that day.
Then they all lying on me then.
Matt is at a loss for words as Leroy asks Matt. No, he demands Matt to get him probation. So Matt tries to pull some strings, and before he returns to tell Leroy the good news, he bumps into this bozo, accusing him of killing White Tiger. But his heart rate says that he's innocent. So now we go back to Leroy Jenkins.
Great news.
Got me that probation.
Nope, I got you 10 days.
Leroy isn't satisfied. It doesn't make sense to him.
And yeah, just once. I want a dessert. And for that, they're willing to spend 5 times more to lock me up than they're willing to spend to feed me.
Yikes. But fast forward, Matt begins roaming the place of White Tiger's death, finding a casing, feeling something interesting on it. So he makes his way to the hideout of Frank the Punisher Castle.
I know you're in.
Frank is not looking too good as Matt accuses him of offing White Tiger because his logo was on the bullet.
What are you doing down here? Just hiding out?
I ain't hiding from shit. You walked in that door.
Your next
kill? You goddamn right.
Great, how's that working?
Punisher is not here to be a hero. He's here to put the bad guys where they belong.
I'll tell you what I think, Ray.
Tell me what you think.
I don't think you came here for my help.
Buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get wicked.
See, I think you want my permission.
It's an interesting take, I like it. But yeah, no, sorry, buddy.
Matthew tries denying it, but Frank is no fool, no dummy.
You're guilty.
Excuse me?
And I can see it on you, I can smell it on you, it's all over you.
I'm gonna come back another day, Frank. Maybe catch you at a better time.
But this conversation isn't over because Punisher drops the bomb.
How about that friend of yours? You saved his life.
It's not about him.
Ah, for Christ's sake, say his name. You hate yourself. He's eating you up because you ain't done a goddamn thing about it.
I apologize.
What are you sorry for? First honest thing you did, Red.
Watching this scene for the first time in its glory was a surreal moment, and it's one of my favorite scenes in this series.
I let the system take care of the rest.
Oh, you and your goddamn system. You and your goddamn system.
Frank is clearly not a fan as he tells Matthew.
You know he gets to breathe the same air that you breathe. You feel good about that? He got life!
But all Matthew is doing is trying to find the bright side. But Punisher, Frank Castle, reveals the harsh truth.
How about old Foggy? He got life.
Goodbye, Frank.
Matthew pulls up to the crib, being met by Heather. And they make it splash. As Matthew heads to the roof, we see Fisk heading to a dungeon. Matthew opens the door, seeing the devil's mask, getting his rhythm back. And as for
Mr. Fisk.
We see Fisk has Adam locked up. And now look at this.
Please, let me out!
The devil is begging to be let out. At least, I think that's what they're trying to insinuate. But we see this weirdo again. He offs a victim and just dumps him. Matthew pulls up to work as Hector's niece pulls up, telling Matthew her uncle is onto something, aka our train station guy. But Matt isn't on board, so Angela decides she'll handle this herself. As we see these two girls.
Hey, are you Muse?
Muse deviously turns around, and it ends exactly how you think. As we go back to Matt, he gets greeted by Cherry, whose heart is beating rapidly. So Matthew says, say what's on your chest. So Cherry begins to tell him about Muse.
How many victims?
Upwards of 60, so they say.
After Matthew hears the information, he stares into the abyss. We all know what he's thinking. As we go to Fisk, you remember those two females? Yeah, didn't end so well.
Man's obviously mocking the police.
So Fisk decides to hire a task force on his Amanda Waller. As we go to a train station, we see Angela has found a hideout. And are the cops even trying? How did she easily manage to find a hideout, but the cops couldn't? As we check on Matt, apparently it's common information that Muse chills in train stations, but then he gets a phone call.
What's going on?
It's Angela. She still hasn't come home. That's not like her.
That infamous music starts playing. Matthew calls the police, but then hangs up the phone. This is a job for the devil. Matthew is swinging, parkouring. As we check on Muse, he has Angela taking her to his lair, prepping her for the Dexter Morgan. As for Fisk, he's holding an axe. Fisk opens that door, explaining that he can't forgive him. Vanessa was supposed to be only for him, but surprisingly, Fisk isn't going to chop Adam up. No, he gives Adam the axe. As we see the Muse process has begun, but then he hears something. Going to check it out, seeing nothing but the Matt hits a Roman ring, kicks Brody to the wall, followed with a backhand. Weave, idiot. Now Matt just starts cooking. Peep the kickflip. We go to Adam and he furiously grabs the axe. Liver shot, backhand. Muse crawls his way up, bringing a knife to a fist fight, but it's pointless. Matthew is just having his way right now as Adam crawls, coming back for more. Too slow. Break the axe. Headbutt, knee, smack with the baton, stay down. Matthew goes to Angela, but Muse is getting back up. You're predictable. Matthew gets a chase down save, catching the crowbar like he's Jason. Headbutt, chokeslam. We see both these boys destroying their enemies. And then wraps those cords around his neck, ready to do mans like Makarov, but sees Angela, hearing her faint heartbeat, so he rushes to her aid. Muse is gone, Angela is saved, and Adam is back in his cell. Fast forward, Angela is at the hospital having flashes of that night. As we see Matt at work, Cherry is not pleased with what Matt has done.
The cops were dicking around getting nowhere. I found Muse in one night.
But Cherry wants no part in this, so he tells Matthew he's on his own. But that's incorrect, because Angela gives Matthew some crucial information. As we go to Heather, she's interviewing
Bastion Cooper. And are you certain he's our guy?
Heather is interviewing Muse, and after hearing how twisted Bastion is, she begins to catch on.
Tell me about that drawing.
You already know, Dr. Clint.
Muse gets closer, telling her,
There's only one question on your mind right now. Can I make it to the door in time?
And that answer is no. Matt pulls back up to the crime scene, finding a drawing of Heather, feeling the resemblance. We see Heather tied up, Muse suited up as he preps his Dexter Morgan. But then hears sirens outside, so bro starts speeding up, grabbing Heather, but she's not going down without a fight, trying to escape but gets dropped. Peep the ranged disarm. We see the cops posted up, moving in, bounce off the head, Sheamus kick into a takedown. Get over here! Stomp that bozo. But Muse still has some fight in him as we see the cops heading up. Daredevil is destroying. Heather passes out. Daredevil consoles her. As the cops open up, Daredevil is gone. But he did stabilize Heather. And just so you know, the task force takes credit for the devil's work. But Matt doesn't care. All he cares about is Heather. As we go to Bullseye, he's being taken to Jin, home of the most wicked. But real quick, we see Fisk take Vanessa to Adam.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Stop talking.
He didn't even know about Fisk. Side topic, Fisk invites Heather to his party. Back to Fisk.
If I cannot be with you, I cannot be.
Vanessa looks at the key.
Please,
Insane. But Fisk is happy now, I guess. Now let's breeze. The baddie tells Matthew that Poindexter wishes to talk. Matt is currently on the fence on what to do, so he stops at Josie's, where he finds out something interesting.
O'Melveny's Foggy never finished his final round.
Yeah, but he wasn't drinking O'Melvin's.
But Josie knows that he was, as Matt begins to remember.
He was celebrating early.
Foggy was silenced, so now it's time for answers.
He didn't use his cane.
His blood is boiling right now, as we are now face to face with Poindexter. But Dexter's just rage baiting, causing Matt to grab his skull and bash it into the table.
He started smashing his face against the table.
This will be Matt's worst mistake.
Thank you.
We now see Bullseye getting stitched up. It's time to break free, escaping dressed as a cop. As we see Heather and Matt at Fisk's party, it's time for us to dance.
What were you looking for, devil?
The dance has begun, but we see Dexter has arrived. Matt hears Vanessa's heartbeat and knows
It was her.
Now peep this Michael Jackson maneuver.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Mind if I cut in?
Matthew starts grilling Vanessa as we see Dexter aiming at Fisk. Matt hears the click, and then the crowd is in a panic. Everyone scatters. Matt is laid out. As we go back 1 year, we see Vanessa and Bullseye.
I had you released because I need a favor.
You want me to kill someone?
Foggy Nelson.
Dexter is still unsure, but then Vanessa touches his hand, and then touches it again, and then touches it again. 3 times the charm. Now we go back to the present. We see Matthew laid up in a hospital bed.
Karen?
Yikes. But let's just blame that on the zoinks. But Matthew regains himself, questioning the baddie about that night.
I remember him saying that he was going to be filing a motion to dismiss.
But unfortunately, it wasn't filed, so Matthew has to find it. And as for Fisk, he orders a hit on everyone.
There'll be no body cams, no warrants.
The cops love the sound of this. And you do remember, I said everyone, including finishing off Matt. Matthew hears devious footsteps approaching, and then the lights go out. But not just in the hospital, in the whole city. And luckily, Matt is gone, making his exit.
You're pretty much the last person I expected to find here.
Frank Castle has pulled up.
Is that a new costume? What do they call you now? Nightgown man.
And judging by the smell, Matthew can tell Frankie got a cut. But the reason he's here is because a certain someone caught him up. As Matthew hears footsteps approaching and goes to get suited up, we see the off-brand Punishers make their way inside. Matthew busts through the glass, smacking bro. Frank got the flank, taking a meat shield. And apparently, bro wasn't a meat shield. Frank just wanted him to suffer.
Frank, stop!
Frank puts 1, 2, 3, 4 in him, but gets hit in the process. But you know Frank hits back as we see the devil holding his own. Frank hits a penetrating shot and didn't even need his Frank to do it. But dog, look at this. What do you do in this situation? Well, I guess just die. And now Matt and Frank start covering each other's backs. And then there was one, the man who killed Hector. But that's not enough.
He's not worth it, Frank.
How about him? He worth it?
These boys start arguing, but it gets cut short.
Shut up!
Grenade.
These boys book it as the building explodes. We are now on foot. A vehicle is approaching and we see it's Karen.
Get in.
Shotgun.
So after getting stitched up, it's time to get back to work. And unfortunately, Frankie won't be joining us. But we see the city is in an uproar. I'm talking chaos, mayhem, all of the above.
Freeze!
Yeah, it's getting wicked.
Jesus, Bert, he's just a kid.
It's a mass vigilante.
You now understand our current pickle. Matthew and Karen find Foggy's motion as we see Frank listening to a cop radio, finding out where they'll be. Punisher now walks up but gets a pistol to his back. You okay? Frank now has a hostage, but starts unloading, getting shot with a shotty. But non-lethals are not enough. Frank is currently on his Menendez. If you breathe, you are getting offed. But the truth is, Frank Castle is no Green Arrow. There's just too many as they bring the castle down, tying him up. And this is really a fan club as we see Matt and Karen planning their next move. But then we go to Fisk, who's with Matthew's girlfriend, offering her a job that she accepts. Fast forward, Fisk begins speaking to New York about the mini war that just went down, blaming any and all vigilantes. Karen and Matt have a heartfelt moment before walking out to their team. We see Punisher is currently locked up as Matt stands there menacingly. But then we go back to Punisher, who's talking to this guard named Anthony, sticking his hand out for a shake.
Thank you, Anthony.
Idiot. Punisher starts bashing Anthony, snapping his arm and breaking free. We start off seeing a list of offed criminals and then the main man himself, who begins hitting some pull-ups. You are not Oliver Queen as Frank collapses. I tried warning you. Nonetheless, Frank pops some poppers and washes it down with water, then starts... Oh, brother. Franklin, this is supposed to be a special, and I haven't seen one thing special yet. Well, I mean, besides you. Okay, my bad. Frank starts ripping down his wall, having straight roid rage as it begins.
Last night, another murder in Little Sicily.
New York is in chaos. No emeralds, just pathetic mayhem. As we see a homeless dude holding this sweet corgi, Mr. takes a seat, feeding his dog. This is truly all he needs to be happy.
Dingo!
Mr. gets kicked and robbed by this random. The thug grabs the corgi, taking it as Mr. follows, calling out to the goon. And I want you to look at the scenery right now. Yeah, you can kind of guess what's gonna happen. Mr. screams in agony, anguish. How could one man be so cruel? And then these thugs start celebrating, messing with his father and daughter. Crazy part is, they gained nothing from this. These maniacs were just bored. Either that or they were on something. Hashtag dare to be different. Mr. begins weeping. If only there was a man that could do something. As we go to the Punisher, talking to himself, seeing illusions of his former war buddies.
The title, Recon Marine, is my honor.
Frank is feeling as if everything is finished, to which, what now?
All done. Nothing left to do. Poor Frank.
Frank unsheaths a blade.
Never quit. To quit, just to fail.
Frank is now getting laughed at by his former allies, carving his chest as the laughter only gets more louder, more hysterical. Frank carves again as his boys start mocking him, telling Frank to quit.
I thought you were the best of us!
Dang, man. I get this is a serious scene, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but what was Frank doing with his arm as the screen goes black?
Whatever you need from me, I am right here.
Curtis reaches out a helping hand, to which Frank says the hardest thing imaginable.
I think I need some help.
Curtis disappears. This is actually a very beautiful, interesting scene because Punisher, Frank Castle, of all people, is willing to ask for help. And I think that shows how strong he is. Because me personally, I'm either gonna hold it in until I get character development or I'ma just nice myself. So I think that highlights the beauty in this scene. So if you're ever going through something heavy, speak to a friend, a family. Frank now stands alone, packing up his artillery, zipping it up, locking it up, officially retiring.
That's him.
Frank now walks outside, and it's quite literally a party. This is a lot of people. We now go to the father. A crackhead pulls up, but hold that thought. We see the Ganucci family on the news. Remember this. It'll come into play later, as the crackhead is still wilding out.
Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, as the main culprit behind these murders, after it was alleged that the Nucci's were one of the last criminal organizations linked to his family's death.
And guess who's in the store? The crackhead starts going berserk! So the clerk kicks him out.
Debbie, where's my blue pen? Why is it not in the basket?
That blue pen will come into play much later. Frank tries to pay for the coffee, but it's on the house. Due to the ruckus of the crackhead, Frankie now sips his coffee, noticing a loser staring, but begins walking past the filthy streets of New York. Frank does nothing. It's not his problem anymore. Even the police are useless in this situation. There's not an ounce of silence in this neighborhood. More shots start ringing out as Frank just continues walking, being passed by that same sus car. But that is no matter. We are now at the gravestones of Frank's family.
You here, baby girl?
Frank begins tearing up.
You're so far away from me.
He now begins reminiscing about the moments with his children, those beautiful moments that he can never experience again. Frank is lost, not knowing what to do.
I don't know what to do. There ain't nothing left to do. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Frank Castle whips out the chrome, putting it to his dome.
Sorry, baby.
Heroes never die.
Before Frank can pull the trigger, he sees his daughter, his son. But Frank is just so tired. The constant aching, he just wants it to end as his wife appears.
I love you.
But hold the phone. His daughter begins to bleed. Maria begins to scream. His daughter is terrified. The memories of the carousel, Maria getting popped, are all storming Frank's brain.
You okay, Daddy?
Frank lowers the stick. Frank's daughter now stands before him.
Hey,
But she's already gone.
No! Baby, come back! I'm sorry.
But she won't come back. She can't come back. And this scene is also so beautiful. And it makes you think. I don't know how to put it into words. Hashtag learn how to articulate yourself, loser. But hopefully you guys get the message.
You think God's gonna forgive us for the things we've done, Frank? I'm not sure about me. But you, I know you ain't got a fucking chance.
Frank did not find that funny.
Oh, I see you on your sad sack bullshit. All done. Nothing left to do. Poor Frank.
Frank turns around, seeing that Curtis is gone. But that same suspicious car is still following. But Frank continues his path, seeing the Punisher as they walk past each other. The hallucinations are going wild, but at least Frank is almost home.
Frank Castle!
We see a baddie calls out to Frank. Look at this bozo eyeing Frank. Relax, little man. But this baddie is asking Frank for help.
My entire family, Frank. Same as you.
The baddie lost her family, so she knows how Frank feels as she begins telling us her story. Her husband was first.
Given his line of work, I was surprised it didn't happen sooner.
And according to my calculations, it seems like he was cheating on the baddie. But then we hear a gun click. Pop goes the weasel. And so what I'm hearing is single? Not funny. After that loser came Bobby, who was apparently a policeman who is also a cat eater. That wasn't until someone grabs him and dices his throat. And here's Eddie, a family mon that was gunned down. Frank's eyes begin to widen as the child stares at his deceased father. And finally, it's time for Carlos.
Whatever the rumor said, I knew he never touched a single one of those kids.
Their car gets stopped. The driver shot. Passenger shot.
It's okay, Ma, he said to me. It was not okay. 6:47, a time that will be seared into my heart forever.
The baddie begins to stand, walking up to the castle.
You took everything I had.
The Punisher walks up, dragging Carlos out the whip, growling. Knee on the head. Carlos is in pain. The baddie doesn't look like she cares as Carlos gives one last smile.
I love you, Ma.
Frank stomps on that loser as the baddie gets closer.
You forgot about me.
Then spits on Frank Castle. I get you're a baddie, but come on, that's disgusting. But the baddie's too angered, to hurt, to care.
A small bounty on your head was all it took. At 6:47, they will come and they will kill you and they will kill anything that gets in there where you made your bed. Now, rot in it.
The baddie's out for blood, for revenge, having her own Punisher story.
No, it was the Nucci's who did it.
But here's where the baddie messed up. Listen to what she tells Frankie.
You didn't finish anything, Frank. I'm the one who's doing the punishing now.
Frank was lost, trying to figure out what more is there to do. But the baddie is about to help ignite that spark as she skirts off.
I'm gonna watch you die, Frank.
Frank now stands there, confuzzled, seeing that the goons are watching. So he heads inside, washing his face, hearing the voice of Karen Page. And for some reason, she's looking extraordinary. Yes, sir, smooth operator. But don't get lost in the sauce.
You're not a victim, you chose it. Come home from deployment, out the door the next day, huh? Couldn't wait to get back out there. You chose it over them. You failed them. You failed them. You fucking failed.
Frank and Karen start screaming at each other.
You failed your family and now you're failing the city.
Coward! Failed? City? You have failed this city? Oliver Queen reference? Sublime.
Are you here? Karen, are you with me? Yeah.
Frank and Karen embrace as she softly tells Frank she will always be with him.
What time is it?
It's time. We hear banging on the door, along with screaming, urging Frank to come out and play. And look at this moron. Hold up, what is this dude doing? As he gets pushed, bro starts axing the door. We hear the screams of the scared folks inside as they bust in, but Frank isn't safe yet because a random starts pouring gasoline, spilling into Frank's home. Everything goes silent. We hear the lighter click. The floor gets set ablaze. Frank is now a liar. Frank is now a liar, but isn't afraid. It's time to save the day. Punisher begins charging, breaking the door down, offing one thug on sight. How did Frank even gain the momentum to hit this move? Whatever, don't call me crazy, everybody. No. Send this loser to the devil, and I'm not talking dare. Weave, right jab, toss the loser. This is block. Say goodbye to your shoulder. Actually, say goodbye to your life. The family screams continue. Predictable elbow. The mother is being strangled, so Frank gives him a fitting death. The mother and her child scatter. Frank was about to start trash talking, but that wouldn't have worked for two reasons. One, bro's already in another place. Two, he gets hit from the back. Again, peep the kick. Another swing, but Frank catches it, socking the sock, hitting him with the handle, breaking his nose. Little man gets swung, tripped, and bashed. But hey, at least he's not dead. Idiot. If you're gonna go for an overhead, do it like this. We see someone on the outside get shot. Frank chucks the bat. Oh my, airball. I'm hoping that was just a distraction. Frank grabs the body, making bro take the pellets. Reach for the shotty. Hold this Jones. Someone's sneaking in. Hit that loser with a dolphin shot. You thought I forgot? And you would think that if someone hears shots, that they would run the other way. But apparently not. That's one loser. Spray and pray this idiot. Bro came in with no strategy, just straight tomfoolery. Frank pops another, taking his strap, but he's still alive. Hold that thought. Another comes down the stairs, and it's just like, what's the thought process? He obviously gets clapped, but what did he expect to happen? Oh, and as for this guy, all right, now let's get a move on. Shooting this bum who came way too late to the party, but he came with fireworks. Frank kicks it to the other room, taking cover. I guess we gotta find a new exit. Frank goes up the stairs, ears still ringing from the explosion, making it to a balcony, seeing everyone in a panic. Frank is shocked because one dude jumps overboard, I think. But do you hear that? We see a thug beating an old man, throwing him down. Frank offs his teammate, jumps the ledge, offing the loser. Frank grabs a new toy, putting it to work. How dare you grab me? Bust the knee, use bro as a body shield, then off the Born for Nothings. And as for you, Frank shoots another, turning bro into a penguin. And if you don't understand that joke, it's funny because penguins can't fly. Now let's speedrun. Frank pops any and all threats, saving a baddie. I would have shot my shot, which probably would have got me clapped. Dang it! This is why you gotta stay locked in and focused. Frank continues catching bodies as he runs out of ammo. Luckily, this guy won't be needing his. Now, I didn't know what to say here because this was beyond pathetic. Like, why would they put up... Relax, Joshua. They just aren't thinking. Either that or they're just lazy. Taking the stairway, you could play it smart, like Rainbow Six Siege. Speaking of Rainbow Six, their rank system is terrible. They put me in Copper 5, and then they give me the worst teammates ever. I'm not the problem. Okay, wait. I am the problem, but dog, Copper? In every other game I play, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, I'm Diamond, Grandmaster, but Rainbow has me at Copper. Frank begins running, breaking through the glass, putting the mutt down. Frank enters a stairway, getting a trifecta. Who are you? Frank removes the loser, then removes him from life. And after clapping a few more insects and restocking his ammo, we make it to the rooftop. Now, you're probably thinking, we are finally free. You couldn't be more wrong. The goons are angrily trying to break down the door, and when they do, they get met by bullets to the face, and they're coming from all angles. Frank is out of ammo, but switching your gun is faster than reloading as Frank continues pushing back, taking a bullet to the shoulder, but no time to cry. 2 bullets to the chest. Both guns are out of ammo, so Frank uses the strap like a baseball bat. Peep the 360, block the axe, gut check the bum, uppercut the sneaky link, then bash the axer. Frank finds an Uzi that had about 5 bullets. Pathetic. Castle now starts getting hit with the Frank catches it. Left hook, elbow, then starts laying down the pipe. Frank brushes SpongeBob off, but gets sliced. Weave, gets kicked. Back up, Sponge. Block into a sock. Backpipe Bob. Frank continues falling back, running into Mr. Jorts, slamming slamming him down and popping him for that horrific fashion taste. But then Frank gets speared off the roof. But it's not over. Frank activates Predator Eye, hitting a clean shot and landing on a generator. But Frankie isn't down for the count. He begins limping away, looking down at the chaos, seeing the baddie and her guard. Frank pops the runner-up, and unfortunately, there's more to come. Frank jumps off the roof, smashing through planks, but he's finally free. Frank rolls off, hitting a bus and then the ground. How did he not break a hip? But who cares? Mr. Castle stands, heading towards the baddie. As we see she's skirting off. Look at her looking back. No, don't get scared now, you coward. Frank begins pursuing.
Frank fucking Castle, come here!
It's always something. Hit the dude, Spartan kick, catch the bat, hold this whack, then hit a home run. But check this out. In the distance, we see the clerk dealing with thugs. But in the other direction, we see the baddie. We can end this now. She is only a few steps away. So Frank starts. We see the clerk has been brought down, getting jumped as his daughter screams. Frank knows what he must do. He stares down the baddie one last time and heads the other way, allowing the baddie to flee. Frank is running with a purpose, hitting a loser off his bike, taking the strap, and getting an instant three-piece.
Oh my daughter!
Don't worry, sir. We got this. Frank gets straight to work, getting a quad feed. Weave the crowbar, peep the disgust in Frank's face as he beats bro with the Glock, injects him with the bar, and breaks him through the glass. Hey, you want some coffee? How about a donut? The mother is clutching her daughter as Frank stabs, disarms, actually break the arm, then slit the throat. Sucks to suck, but now it's over. Frank goes to check on the family. Frank gets stabbed by this behemoth, slamming him on the counter, beating him to a pulp, then begins choking. It's time for that blue pin to come into play. Frank stabs the goon, grabs his dog collar, and begins doing the unspeakable. Just know, this guy probably regrets every decision that got him to this moment. But now, it's officially over. The daughter hugs Frank, then hugs her family. Frank is touched, seeing the difference he made, the tears of relief he was able to bring as the daughter gives Frank a rose.
Thank you.
Frank now leaves, heading to the graveyard, placing down the rose.
I met somebody today. Reminded me of you.
Frank sees the key to his artillery, picking it up.
Maybe I'm gonna keep going, huh? I love you, baby girl.
Oh, how beautiful. The castle hasn't fallen. We now see this old couple walking, having a good time. Frank kicks that moron. We see the Punisher is back, and he's finally got a haircut. Frank begins choking bro as the old man calls out for his hat. Frank gives it back, letting the goon go, as the old timer tells him,
That's not the only thing he took from me.
the goon books it. Frank chucks a knife, hitting his thigh, pulling out the stick, aiming it, but doesn't fire. Frank Castle looks at the old timer for confirmation as he nods. We start off seeing the people of New York happy, over the moon with the changes Fisk has made. And because of Fisk, the crime rate is lower.
New York is back and better than ever.
But that's what we see when the lights are on. But when the lights shut off and it's my turn to settle down, my main concern is, what is Fisk up to? As we see the cargo and also the devil scheming his attack. We see victim 1, he gets turned into victim done. We see victim 2, he heard the ruckus and wants to be a hero. But Matt locks in the choke and splat bro into a container. And now we enter the devil's domain. You see the red flashing lights. You should know what that means. As the shadow of the devil emerges, extend the Billy, knocking bro out. Peep the double D's. Now let's get to action. Daredevil starts with the and then vanishes, hitting a heavy kick. Whack this loser and also hold this elbow. Piece up his buddy. Knock out this guy who has no business being here. Oh, you're still up? Break the arm. No, don't scream now. Curb stomp the teammate. Then double combo the idiot. Bro was truly done bad, but at least it can't get worse. Dog, not even the thug can believe this. Aren't you supposed to be the good guy? But foolishly, the thug crawls to his gun. Pick that bozo up and throw him into a crate. You know he got a splinter. As we see these two guys watching everything. And just to aura farm, look at what Daredevil does. Bro grabs the camera, flex the double D's, then cuts the feed. Nah, you can tell Daredevil is in tune with those Instagram live beefs as he finds what the ship was shipping, and that's weapons. And you remember those two bozos, right? They're resorting to plan B, and that's to sink the entire ship. Matthew begins to act, hearing the ticks of this dude's watch, but they aren't regular ticks. It's the ticks of a bomb. So Matthew thinks fast, putting the watch in the cargo as the boat begins to tilt. Matthew is holding on for dear life until finally he releases, making it to shore. Woo! That shore was a close one, but now it's back to base. Matthew hears the sounds of training. He walks in, seeing Karen putting in that work.
You definitely sent Fisk a message.
The armor of Fisk is being cracked, but the job is far from over because we need to expose and prove Fisk is connected. But before that, they embrace. So while they splash, let's check on Fisk. He sees the ship torn apart but still floating.
This is a terrorist attack, orchestrated and executed by the vigilante of Hell's Kitchen.
And just like that, Fisk spins the story, tells Buck to find our pirate duo, and calls up his secret weapon.
These animals can do something like that? What's next?
These boys are in a game of chess, but they won't back down. Fisk will be exposed for what he is.
He will be held accountable.
Karen seems to not fully believe that, but Matthew does.
I have to believe that, Karen.
But things start looking up. Karen gets word on the ship's manifest telling us about our pirate duo, so now it's time to clock in. Yep, Matthew knew exactly what he was doing. But long story short, Fisk's backup, Mr. Charles, pulls up, helping Fisk get the support of the office. As we see the wanted poster of Karen, so she has her disguise on, grabbing the info. But now we go to Matthew's girlfriend. Actually, were they even dating? We go to Heather. She's interviewing this guy who might be the vigilante swordsman. But mid-interview, we see Heather has PTSD of Muse. And I can't blame her because dealing with Muse isn't really amusing. But back to Matt. He meets up with Cherry, telling him about the Titanic and how they need to link it to Fisk before it's too late.
How is she?
She's worried about you. Would it kill you to reach out to her?
I can't put her at risk.
And me? You're old.
But enough jokes. Mr. Murdoch tells us the names of the pirates.
Achilleo Kiriakou and Christophe Sava.
But we see the task force is 2 steps ahead, pulling up on this baddie, asking about the pirates.
No me menos fascistas.
Right.
Ain't no way! Pirate 1 begins to run, but gets cornered and now captured. Some time goes by, and Matthew pulls up onto Batty, and apparently, she has been helping many people escape NYC. But then Matthew name drops Achilles.
Murdoch, aren't you supposed to be missing or dead?
The baddie tells Matthew that Achilles is pretty much done for, so the devil better pray that Christophe is still free. But as for Achilles, he's being tortured by this bum.
I did what I was told. The devil came, I sank the ship he was supposed to sink.
But supposed to and did are 2 different things. Anyways, Achilles gets hit in his heel. Back to Fisk. They're talking about scavenging the 30 tons of weapons, but in order to do so smoothly,
My men, they're very loyal.
Great. So you have no problem killing them after they've unloaded the boat?
Charles is suggesting Fisk betrays his force.
Easy enough to make them disappear in an industrial accident after they unload the goods into your Red Hook warehouse?
Fisk and Vanessa both agree. Karen pulls up on BB, who's been getting real close to this guy. And if you didn't know, BB is the niece of Ben, the reporter who died and also helped Karen live.
Because Fisk killed her.
But back to Heather, she's still having PTSD.
Evil spirits possess me at times.
I beg your pardon?
Just answer the question. Evil spirits possess me at times.
False.
Heather changes his answer. She might be far gone. But back to Matt and Karen. They're training together, reminiscing about the days with Foggy. But we aren't here to live in the past. We go to the baddie, and she gets word of some dude eating from the trash.
Κάνετε ένα πιάτο.
Το έκανα. Θέλει να σε ευχαριστήσει προσωπικά.
The baddie walks out, and I thought this would be a trap, but really, we see it's Christophe. But now, for this next moment, I need you to brace yourself. We see Cherry looking through documents when he receives a knock from the task force. Cherry texts Matt and puts his hands on his head.
Come on, Cherry, don't gotta be like that.
Yeah, I do.
Predictable. The cops start beating on Cherry. I don't even know if they asked any questions, but they're going ham until finally they put that stick to his noggin.
He's here, Daredevil!
Matthew saves Cherry, but here's the backup coming. Their footsteps get overshadowed by the abnormal heartbeat of Cherry. The task force rolls in. Matt chucks the Billy, sleep the guard, disarm the weakling, then throw him for fun. Beat the bullet. You are not Luffy, but peep the no look, causing bro to shoot his teammate. Do a soccer tackle, defend the strap, then KO that bozo. And now Matthew is just saucing on these boys. But once again, he hears the heartbeats of Cherry, reminding him of that day. Liver shot, left hook, right hook, Captain Hook, knocking the devil down. Cherry is shocked as the police bash the devil's skull, then start removing the drip. There's nothing Cherry can do as Matthew Murdock gets face revealed.
That's Matt Murdock.
But the cops don't play favorites and put that chrome to his dome. These cops are wiped in an instant, and then one more knife gets thrown. And we see this is courtesy of Bullseye. I can't lie, Poindexter wasn't even on screen, but got the MVP. We now see Cherry being escorted on a stretcher, and Matthew is just... I know he's not trying to ore farm, but dog, come on. This is the whole IG flick. And after thirst trapping the baddies, Matthew starts analyzing the knife. As we go to this church, we see the bully himself, Bullseye.
I need absolution. I've betrayed people, betrayed myself.
I'm not technically a priest yet.
I'm not too picky.
Bullseye is officially back. Fisk is not gonna like this. As we see him sparring, training for his boxing match, one of his butlers pulls up.
Full task force, dead. Daredevil got away. Apparently, someone is helping him. Someone with very good aim. Poindexter.
Fisk is beyond heated. He's on his mob psycho and takes his anger out on his trainer.
You giving up? Not like you, man. I thought you were tougher than that. Maybe you should...
What a baby. But I can't lie, if I'm Fisk and I find out Bullseye and Daredevil are working together, I might have just done the same. As we go to Team Dare, how do you guys feel about that? I didn't want to say Team Devil because yeah, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling Team Dare, but I just have to like roll it out there just in case, you know, it hits. Anyways, these boys are trying to figure out why Bullseye, of all people, helped Matthew.
Well, killing task force only helps Fisk. He's already saying I'm a terrorist, so each body Poindexter drops is just another hung on me.
Yeah, and it pisses off Fisk, so that's what, 2 birds, 1 bullet.
But we can't get overwhelmed by Poindexter. We have to focus on our target, our main man, Fisk.
We proved the mayor smuggling guns.
Right.
Try to get the feds to file a case. We need to get to Ariana.
Hell yeah. Which one of us is going to Astoria?
How about both?
It's now time to lock in. We see these cops taking in the baddie. Also, for those of you wondering, why doesn't Fisk just expose Matthew Murdock as Daredevil? Here's the answer.
Daredevil, he's an easy sell as enemy of the people, but Matt Murdock, he saved my life.
Matthew was playing chess this whole time. But although Fisk won't expose Matthew's identity, he does tell the world.
Matt Murdock is a hero. He risked his life to save mine, only to be targeted by the same vigilantes that threaten our way of life. Help find Matt Murdock. Let's bring this hero home.
That smile is sinister. Matthew is now wanted on both sides as a civilian and a vigilante. So you better buckle up, buckaroo, because the task force is about to make plays, pulling up on Cherry. But his friends are no fools. They drive these bozo cops far, far away. And when I say far, far away, I'm speaking in future tense, because from above, we see that vent open. Bully swiftly caught 2 bodies, and we see more cops are pulling up, but Cherry is gone like a fairy. Fisk gets word, but he has bigger issues right now. Like, why was this bozo hiding this leaked video?
Do you remember when I told you if you ever betray me, it'll be the last thing you ever did?
Fisk is not gonna off him, but now Daniel must answer these 2 questions.
Do you have any idea where the leak came from?
No, honestly, sir, I don't.
Is there anyone in this building that you feel the need to protect?
Yeah, you.
Good answer.
Good answer.
That's what I said. And you remember that ship that had all those weapons? Yeah, it's being salvaged as Matthew and Karen watch, waiting patiently for their moment. And now real quick, this is not really important, but I want you to hear this bar.
How many more worlds do you need to conquer?
How many are there?
Superb. Let that sink in. Fisk, facts, fire. We see the weapons are being moved. The task force has this whole area surrounded.
I gotta get into the port.
No, Matt, it's suicide.
It's our only shot at Fisk.
Matthew's not thinking clearly, but it's all or nothing. But now let's check on Angela. It's time to get some grub when we see these hooligans stealing. And apparently, these bozos know Angela.
Angela, are you so boring?
Look at his shoes. Crocodile shoes. I could hear you squeaking from outside.
I ain't even saying nothing.
Shut up with your Three Musketeers from Dollar Tree ass.
Yikes. The auntie tells the thug to put the drink back, but instead, it turns into a whole argument.
Miss, mind your business.
Oh my God, can you just put that back?
Mr. Clerk is tired of these goons. He will no longer tolerate. The thug tries escaping, but gets tripped by the cop.
Stop, he's a kid.
They're thieves, okay? So just mind your business.
The other goons book it, but the auntie stops the cop from pursuing. And this is not gonna end well.
That's assaulting an officer. Give him a move.
The auntie gets dragged out. It's a whole wicked scene outside. Chaos is erupting all around us as Angela watches her auntie get taken. And speaking of taken, did you see how Mark took Conquest's life? He told Conquest, "You will not breathe again," and stood on it. Hole through his stomach, guts being yanked out, but he didn't falter. He did not allow Conquest to breathe, and it was just so goated. But now we see the two baddies chopping it up.
How did you and Mr. Murdoch leave things?
Not well.
But now it's time for Heather to ask a question.
Do you think Frank Castle or Daredevil killed Matt?
No, I don't.
I thought Vanessa was gonna drop the bomb, but she kept it cool. What are we looking at? Apparently nothing, because Vanessa brushes it off. But it wasn't nothing. Bullseye was stalking his prey the same way Predator stalks his prey. Now I know what you're thinking. That transition was terrible, but I wanted an excuse to tell you guys I've been binging the Predator movies, and they are goated. Besides this one, just the thought of it makes me want to bash my head. We now go to the baddie, who hears eerie noises. The baddie cautiously goes to check it out, grabbing the bat, becoming a baddie with a baddie.
If anybody's there, I'm not playing.
Bro, I know whoever's hiding in those shadows was holding back the biggest laugh, but we see it's Angela telling the baddie what just went down.
I'll start checking the jails, okay?
That won't work. The task force took her and people usually disappear when that happens.
But it's not GG's yet. Angela sees the box that holds the amulet, and we can already tell where this is going. Fisk vs. Horn. That is a rumble you do not want to miss. But in due time, as we see the political baddie, she sees a picture of the officer she betrayed. Fisk emerges from the shadows.
Were you looking for me?
We see Daniel pressing Baby, accusing her of hacking his laptop and leaking that video.
But if you are leaking stuff, anything, stop.
But BB replies,
"You're scared of him, aren't you?"
BB is aiming for the eagle. She knows exactly what she's doing.
I'm just being smart.
I wouldn't blame you if you were.
That was a fire attempt, but ignorance is bliss. Daniel will not give in. We now go to Josie's, where we hear something alerting, but false alarm. It's just Angie.
What's going on?
I want to check up on you, make sure everything's all right.
I'm not liking this, y'all boys, but maybe I'm just paranoid because Angie tells us Cherry is safe and to stay ready.
I promised you a safer city. And look at how safe I'm making it.
Fisk is not gonna like this. And behind that mask, you guessed it, it's BB. But we see Vanessa having a nightmare where Bullseye offs her.
I know why you're hunting me.
But on a brighter note, Karen turns on the jams, boosting the morale and having a dance. But that gets cut short.
On my mark.
The cops have locked in, grabbing Josie. Matt and Karen get ghost. But you fool, did you really think we would leave Josie behind? Matt comes from the top, backhand this loser, then shut off that ruckus. As for Karen, she blinds the cop, hits the gut, then start piercing him up. Matthew runs up, taking down one loser, smoothly evading the bullets into a leg sweep, then starts feeling fancy. You imbecile! The cops find a hideout, moving in, but Matthew's on the chase, hitting one from the back, disarming the loser into an attitude adjust reversal. Matthew, what's going on? Bro starts getting jumped, so there's only one option. Matthew might be top 5 as he starts banging on these cops. Yep, once Matthew starts growling, he starts eating, grabbing the toupee, break the spine, then turn his skull to wine. We meet up with Karen, who tells us,
I have something to show you.
Karen captured a hostage.
I did a little recon.
Recon?
Karen is war ready, sensing that there's something different about this dude. The bozo gets unmasked, seeing the devil.
Wait. You got it all wrong. I was looking for you.
Yeah, to kill us.
No.
This dimwit claims he wants to help.
I want to help.
It's a trap.
Oh, no, it's not.
Talk.
Powell.
Daredevil and Batman are really the same. This man is already singing like a bird, but Matthew wants to hear harmonies.
What Fisk is doing to you guys, hunting you, all of it, it's wrong.
You're lying. You're a liar. You are lying to us.
He's telling the truth.
Hilarious. The bozo is being sincere, even giving us his key card, along with some useful information.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
Look at me.
Matthew is enjoying this as he tells Alan.
I'm gonna hit you hard. It's gonna hurt. You tell your squad I kicked the shit out of you. If you're lying to me, you fuck. I'll find you, and I'll be unhappy.
You're the only one.
But now, let's check on Heather. And she's not looking too hot, but somehow she's still looking hot. Yes, sir. Clap it up. I'll be here all week. But jokes aside, we see she has a Muse mask that's quite amusing as she heads to work, greeting the baddie. And as you know, they aren't on the best of terms right now.
Why would you work for Fisk? Because he's genuinely trying to make the city a safer place. I was on the other end of that vigilante violence. You weren't. So unless some maniac and a mask is trying to cut you open, don't judge me.
The PTSD is running deep and is guiding Heather's decisions. But now we go to the docks. We see the baddie is blindfolded, being taken to meet her client. And although she can't see, she's taking in every detail. And we see her client is the swordsman.
Fisk wanted me to invest in his port project. I refused. Et voila. If this was really about vigilantes, I think he would go after more than just his personal enemies.
But luckily, they currently have no proof he's the swordsman.
Do they need that these days, counselor?
Oh shucks. We now go to Fisk's prison. We see the auntie is still alive for now. But worry not, young sport, because Karen's on her Frank castle. But if we're being frank, Matthew doesn't seem like a fan.
You know, he's always been there for me, for us, before.
What are you're saying you want his help?
Well, I mean, he is effective.
Yeah, it's clear as day. Mr. Murdoch is not rocking with this.
Murder is not how we win this. Karen.
Jesus Christ, okay, yes, of course.
Karen understands this, but maybe, just maybe, chopping off the neck of the king isn't too far. But let's be real, offing Fisk won't bring back Foggy. And once again, being frank, Karen's vision is foggy because Foggy wouldn't want this.
It just feels like we are up against so much.
We still have a system that is not entirely broken.
Oh, you and your system. But maybe the system is the way because the governor got Karen's copy of Red Hook and now she's face to face with Fisk. But side note, here's Matthew's plan.
I torch the weapons. Make a big noise and you get your sources to put it out there and we force everyone in New York to see who he is.
The governor is putting Fisk in a blender, then takes her exit. But you should know this by now. Fisk isn't just gonna take that, telling his men to find some dirt on her. But now it's time for court. We see the judge take some medicine. I'm already feeling antsy. This situation is not good. Heather's lies are coming into play, putting the baddie in a not so good place.
Took me 6 weeks to get access to my client. You gave me 2 days notice before trial.
We sent a scheduling change to Miss McDuffie's email address weeks ago.
To my dead Manhattan Superior Court email. Don't be a dick, Hochberg.
The cards aren't in the baddie's favor, so she asked the judge just for some latitude, but that gets denied. As we fast forward, it's time for the verdict. Everyone is watching.
On the charge of conspiracy to violate the anti-vigilante laws of the state of New York, this court finds you guilty.
The BS unravels. The baddie stares down Heather as Fisk celebrates. Matter of fact, let's party. We see Heather and the Squire are getting along.
On the night.
We see Heather and the Knight are getting along on this fine night. As we go to the task force, the sacrificial pawns have loaded up everything.
Get back on the boat and we'll pick you up once the load's delivered.
We've been on the boat all night. We've done the job and we want to go back to our families. Why can't you pay and let us leave now?
Because I fucking said so.
You know exactly what's going to happen. And if you don't, then just know it's not gonna be pretty. And speaking of pretty, we see the baddie drinking up a storm. And actually, some dude brought her a drink.
Thank you.
Why yod? But that person left a note. As we see, it was Karen. The baddie pulls up, seeing the devil.
You met with Duquesne today. I need you to tell me everything you saw.
The baddie starts giving a rundown on the secret base.
Well, they had me wear blackout goggles, so I didn't see anything.
I can work with that.
Fire quote. Matthew starts busting a move, using the details from the baddie to make his way. Hearing two cops on the inside. Full power the left. Snatches a stick into a double leg takedown. Go back to the first. Break his arm. Then knock these bums out. And do you remember in the first episode when Matthew put that watch in the container? Matthew hears it. And there was this like bozo who thought the watch was a bomb for some odd reason. But anyways, Matthew hears the watch, but also hears the cries of people in Fisk's prison. So the choice is clear. Matthew busts in, setting everyone free, including Swordsman.
Copy, we're on our way.
Cops have arrived. Daredevil jumps off the cage into a spinning knee, concussing the second. Yeah, it's time to hang it up. We even see Swordsman putting in that work. Zoro takes an eye, hits the thigh, but gets attacked from behind. Come on. Death before dishonor. That is the Swordsman way. Peep the single leg takedown. Matter of fact, break the leg.
Use lethal force, go hard.
Uh-oh. Matthew knocks out a loser, and then...
Everyone down!
Fogging it up. These losers are practically blind now. But check this out. Hold the impel straight through the ACL. Get over here. This guy got it easy. Hit the stick, then the back of the head. I don't think that helmet is protecting him from CTE. And just like that, business is handled. Move! The task force is coming in boiling as Karen's watching. This is not good. Karen grabs the stick, immediately posting up, slowly getting closer to Angela, and we see she's rocking the amulet.
You're Karen, right?
Angela came to save her aunt, and she was putting in work, even stealing some comms.
Red team, come in on channel 4.
Matthew immediately understands and tells Karen what's going on. As they make it outside, freedom is near, but the task force is blocking it.
Shoot the prisoners!
The prisoners duck the bullets as we see backup arriving.
Oh! Friendly?
You morons. Angela and Karen hop out, returning fire. Or whatever you call that aim. The hostages are heading in the truck, but more task force are arriving. Peep the frisbee into a scorpion. I don't even know what happened to this dude, but Karen pops him. Matthew is shocked, but priorities. Swordsman hops in the driver, skirting off as Team Dare escapes. Oh, and by the way, Angela slashed the tires of every other vehicle. Now, although Matthew saved the hostages, the cargo is also still safe.
Cargo.
Safe in Red Hook.
The night crew.
Still on board the Northern Star.
Good. We can use that.
Fisk will find a way to frame the devil for what he's about to do. We see explosions going off, but it's worse for Matt. He hears the screams of all the workers going down with the ship.
They killed them all.
As we see Fish chefing it up. Wait, no. We see Bullseye going through his morning routine, then setting off.
Tony!
Good morning, Mrs. Smithers.
Ah, so Point Dexter's going by Tony now.
Such a nice boy.
Dang, man. What could have been? By the way, peep the no-look coin toss donation as Bully heads to the diner, ordering a banana shake.
You won't whip?
Doesn't everybody?
Doesn't everybody?
Hey. Point Dexter now starts looking at his arsenal. And by arsenal, I mean the utensils. Then proceeds to call the task force hotline.
I think I just saw Frank Castle.
The Punisher? Task force is en route.
He has a gun.
Try to find a safe place.
Bullseye wants the smoke. Bullseye needs the smoke. Bullseye craves the smoke. Bullseye might really be the devil as he chugs the whole milkshake without a problem. Didn't acquire not one brain freeze as we hear the sirens of the task force. It's time to get war ready. The task force busts in, scanning for Frank Castle.
Yo, milkshake! Put your goddamn hands up, turn around now!
Bullseye puts his hands up.
Crowd.
Beautiful kickoff as Bullseye equips the mask, but kinda too late for that. Anyways, get a 3-piece using all 3 utensils. I'm talking spoon, fork, knife, all in one. And actually, you know what's better than one? A 2-piece. The cops start firing, so Bullseye dives over the counter. That's actually crazy. As Bullseye tells the waitress,
that was a great milkshake.
This cop is watching his homies bleed out as he sucks to suck. But peep the random knife trick. Point Dexter's out here stunning on these task force. Look at the deer in this food. Oh, crap. Look at the fear in this dude's face. And I can't blame him. He's about to go out like Thanos. Death by utensil. What a shame. The loser begins crawling away as Bullseye slowly walks him down. Hold that thought. We see this Frenchie. Poindexter removes the mask. Confusion, no, disgust amongst his face.
Dogs in restaurants are unsanitary.
Now, if you are thinking Poindexter is gonna off this dude, then you are incorrect.
Oh, don't worry. I'm one of the good guys.
But that cop's not dead yet, so I hope he saved room for dessert. Death by lobster. Cheese, man. But the job's not finished. Bully proceeds to grab the ketchup, and I thought he was gonna add insult to injury, but rather, he does something better. He flexes his logo. Dang, I need a logo. If y'all boys got any ideas, let me know. Nonetheless, BB is still trolling Fisk. As we go to the auntie, she's telling her story about what went down with the task force.
But I will not back down. I will stay and fight.
Woohoo! We see Daredevil and Swordsman saying their goodbyes. But before the farewell, Swordsman tells the devil,
It's a shame, because we could use more people like you.
Like me. You don't realize it, do you? You're not a hero. You're a symbol now. Hope for an entire city.
That Swordsman wisdom hits different as these boys have a final and first handshake. But check it out. We see some task force armor, so I'm guessing someone will be disguising themselves. Anywho, Karen gives Angela a side mission to deliver an SD card. Joshua, what's on the SD card? Well, Buckaroo, we can assume that the video they just recorded is on that SD card. I hope. Angela heads to the devil as he grabs her chain.
You understand the responsibility that comes with this.
Yeah.
But we don't have time for this Uncle Ben mumbo jumbo because Matthew hears something. Karen grabs her stick as Angela pulls out safety scissors. But we see it's Christophe, you know, the guy from episode 1. But now we go to Vanessa putting the heat in her purse.
That's one way to deal with the governor.
Apparently, Vanessa will be meeting with the governor.
I know what you're doing. Arranging this trip to Albany just before the fight.
Fisk is sending Vanessa away due to the fact that because the fight is public, there's too many possibilities of disaster.
Good luck.
Back to Christophe. Apparently, he knows everything about the Northern Star.
Can you connect any of it to Fisk?
All the paperwork was signed off by Βασιλιάς του Εγκλήματος.
The Kingpin.
Okay. Now all we need is an attorney. And luckily, we know just the gal.
All the task force will be at the fight tonight.
At Fogwell's.
The same gym Matt's father balks at.
Yeah, he wants me there.
But Mr. Murdoch is not his only target.
Or
not just me.
The whole fight. He's setting a trap for Bullseye.
So now we gotta find Bullseye, while Karen brings in the baddie as we see Poindexter watching the news, hearing about the showdown.
Priest task force.
Congratulations, you no longer have a TV, genius. And you can't even use that coin to help buy you a new one. And actually, did Bullseye even pay for his milkshake? Bro, there's no way he brought the task force to that lady's shop, caught bodies in it, wasted a lobster, and then used her ketchup to flex his logo, and didn't even have the decency to pay for his milkshake. But let's check on the baddie. She's on the phone. The task force burst in. What are these bozos doing here?
You assholes better have a warrant or I'm gonna bury you under so many lawsuits.
But because Fisk is saved the something law, these bozos don't need a warrant or even probable cause.
We don't even need to knock.
But these losers are looking for Swordsman, and obviously, he's not here. So these losers just made a mess and are just leaving.
You tell Matt Murdock we say hello.
The baddie might soon find out about Matthew's other life. What was the point? Whatever though. We now go to Fisk, who's still angered.
It's leaks in Red Hook, leaks in City Hall. You need to find them, Buck.
Fisk has had enough of this tomfoolery. Everyone's a suspect. Him, her, you.
How much do you want to know?
Enough to know what's
You know what
done.
I want to know?
Fisk gets interrupted.
Why is Wombat shit cube-shaped?
Fisk must really hate this guy, but he still has his uses. But long story short, this fool tries to threaten Fisk.
It's adorable, but you can put your hands down.
You're right.
What were you expecting?
I would ask that you practice patience next time you want to see me call.
Anyways, Karen pulls up on the baddie.
Where's Matt?
Can't answer that.
The baddie feels offended, but is still willing to reach out her hand. As we go to the governor, her and Vanessa are, for some reason, talking about how attractive I am. And it's like, ladies, relax. You know, we're here for business right now. Time and place.
I don't like the way your husband wields his power, and it makes me nervous.
To which Vanessa replies,
My husband has big plans for the city he loves.
and blah, 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 blah. Vanessa says she'll bring out the best in Fisk, to which the governor agrees to back her. her, and they shake on it. But now, we go to this food truck where we see the thug.
What do you want?
Una arepa paisa, por favor.
The thug sees Angela.
Oh my gosh, a leprechaun, did you lose your pot of gold?
Fuck up, hubby.
Jeez Louise, someone woke up on the wrong side of the rainbow. Amazing joke, Joshua. Yes! Angela gives the thug some money along with the SD card and tells him no, demands him not to mess this up. As we see Mr. Murdoch dressed as a task force member.
All right, wrap it up. Let's go. Get lost.
CSI's not done.
Vigilante crimes, task force jurisdiction.
Matthew kicked out the CIA and begins analyzing the crime scene, finding a coin of grace, and knows exactly where to find Poindexter. Well, at least a clue on where to find him. Matthew walks into the church, saying a prayer as the soon-to-be priest walks up. Matthew shows bro the coin, to which he basically describes Bullseye. The soon-to-be priest tells us about Bullseye's schedule. Matthew gets to analyzing, finding exactly where the Point Man lives. Poindexter makes it to the crib, playing the funks. Matthew catches the CD, throwing it back. Made you look. Now hold this drop kick, run on the walls into a judo throw. But there's more where that came from. Right jab, uppercut, parry the parry. I don't know why, but this was hilarious. But now it's time to get serious. Block the remote. Here comes the airplane. Chuck the Billy. Poindexter really tried aura farming. This TV series is only big enough for one aura farmer, as Bully tells Matthew,
I'm on your side.
To which Matt responds by straight up destroying Bullseye. Peep the full power knee. Bro, watching this show is just like, the lady distracts Matthew, allowing Bullseye to throw a knife and hold the lady as a hostage.
What that woman had me do to your friend.
Don't you bring him up!
Don't you dare bring him up! Not like this!
This is the interaction I've been waiting for, and Bullseye keeps bringing up this phrase, one good deed.
What is this one good deed? What is it you want to do?
What you won't do.
Fisk.
But Matthew can't allow that. We once again see the clash of two philosophies.
I'm gonna help you. Please, just calm down.
I am calm.
Matthew ricochets the Billy. Bully chucks the lady and begins zooming, but he will only make it so far on foot. Wicked. As Matthew watches Bullseye escape, but it's not over yet. But side note, we see Christophe filming a video telling the truth about the Northern Star. As we go to BB, she meets up with Daniel, waiting in line for the fist fight. But hold the phone, she gets approached by the thug, who's pretending to be a fan, asking for a picture and slipping in the SD card. Daniel is skeptical.
I didn't realize I was on a date with a celebrity.
Not a celebrity and not a date.
Anyways, we see the task force has this place surrounded as Fisk is prepping.
It's not necessary. He'll never lay a glove on me.
Fisk, you are not Yuji, but Fisk is talking to his men, telling Buckaroo to go handle a side quest. But ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn, get your water, because we have a fight to watch. Woohoo!
Touch gloves.
No sportsmanship? Okay. The fight begins with a liver shot. Right hook. Break that guard. Then break his face. But Mr. Purple still stands. Fisk is happy, enjoying this. But real quick, we see Christophe being escorted by US. Oh, bullocks. As Fisk continues destroying Purple, we see Buck walk out, facing Christophe. Get in the corner. Fisk is thirsting for blood. Wrap this fight up.
Stuff has been taken care of.
Fisk is over the moon right now. But little does he know, Christophe already told the truth. But that's tomorrow's problem. As we see Purple is ready for another round. We left hook. Get bro in the corner again. And there's not much for me to say anymore. Fisk is brutalizing this man. Ooh, brutalizing. Fisk was about to off him until he sees her. Fisk sees Vanessa. Purple lands a hit. Let's go. But now Fisk is livid. That liver is destroyed. Combine that with a dislocated jaw. I'm not even sure if bro's alive anymore. But who cares? Fisk is now the champion. The crowd is uproarious as Vanessa walks up.
I told you not to go.
Kiss me.
Listen to me.
Kiss me.
Fisk and Vanessa embrace. But you fool. This is not no Cinderella story.
You need to go now.
Let the danger commence. The crowd eeks. Vanessa and Fisk are shook as the bully offs two more. The task force grabs Vanessa. BB and Daniel scatter. Peep the trick shot though. All the task members are getting offed. Literally.
Get her out of here now!
Poindexter hops on his Neymar and stares down Vanessa. But she's done running and instead pulls out the strap. I feel like those broken shards are gonna come back to haunt us. As he takes out the two guards, Fisk grabs a strap and walks Poindexter down. Peep the bounce shot, then grapples these boys out the building where they both run off. We go to Fisk and Vanessa is... No, but she's okay. She's not leaking that bad. Never mind. Vanessa falls to the ground. Fisk is feeling the jitters.
Get an ambulance! Somebody please!
Oh man, he's on his Peter Parker. And unfortunately, I don't think an ambulance is... Oh man. We are now at the beach, reminiscing about the good times of Vanessa and Fisk. We snap back to reality. Vanessa's in the ER as Mr. Wilson pulls up.
Watch out! No! What is happening here?
Fisk is forced back because right now, right here, the surgeons need to do their job, or the doctors, nurses, whatever they are. So right now, the man who had so much power is now powerless. As we see this bum, Fisk, you better grill him for letting Vanessa loose as he greets the Kingpin. He, unfortunately, doesn't get grilled, but fortunately, it looks like Vanessa isn't dead. So that's something.
Sir, I want to find him as bad as you do.
No, you don't. You couldn't.
The hunt is on. Are you ready for the mayhem that will be bestowed upon us?
Whatever you need, use it.
You got it, sir.
Officer Powell, alive.
Fisk wants them alive. That's not good. As the task force starts moving out, we see Bullseye just finished running a marathon as the devil shows up, and he's gonna heal Bullseye.
You know.
The task force is nearing, so these boys head to the boiler.
Leave me here. None of this matters now. It matters to me.
Why do you guys think Matthew is helping Bullseye? Because it's not like Matthew can throw him in jail. Fisk would get to him easily. So is Matthew secretly wanting to run duels? As we go to Daniel and BB, she's grilling White Vans for some info on Vanessa.
I get it, I'll go. Just tell me, is she alive?
But Daniel's not in the mood, so BB hugs him, the hurt of seduction, and this makes Daniel fold like a lawn chair.
She's in critical condition.
Pathetic. BB takes her leave. The doctor pulls up on Fisk, saying he'll do his best to save Vanessa. And we see she's having a flashback dream of something that doesn't matter, hopefully. Back to the devil. Poindexter's bleeding out, but the devil won't allow that.
You think she's dead? I don't know.
Poindexter is hoping, praying even, that Vanessa is with the devil. Because if she is, then the scales will be balanced.
She's dead, Vanessa. That's just murder.
Vanessa, Foggy.
Matthew pins Poindexter.
Don't say his name. You don't get to say his name. Do you understand? Tell me you understand.
No.
Matthew does not play when it comes to the Fog Man, putting us in a flashback of the younger days, dealing with this case. And I'm not sure if this will be important, but in case it is, here's a quick summary. This dude doesn't want to take a plea deal because once he goes to prison, he'll be gone in 24 hours.
Guys I work with want me dead. I mean, that's the whole reason you two are even here in the first place. Cop a deal. They told you.
What are you talking about?
You two don't even know who you work for, do you?
You can kind of guess who those guys are. As we transition to Fisk, we see Wesley, but we don't have time for the chatter because Vanessa's getting operated on. Fisk is watching, hasn't blinked once as the bully collapses.
This is pointless. Let's be real. You're not gonna mourn me.
Even so, Matthew still tries saving Poindexter, but it's looking like a no-go.
First you try to kill me, and then you try to save me.
I'm trying to save you because I tried to kill you.
So that's why. As Matthew lifts Poindexter heading forward. But back to the flashback. This dude is giving us crap because we couldn't get that dude to sign the deal. So he leaves us with the paperwork. Idiot. This will be his biggest mistake as Matthew and Foggy are chilling.
He's definitely into something weird.
Totally. Like feet.
What's wrong with feet?
Sounds like Mr. Murdoch might be a foot guy.
Just for the record, I don't have a problem with feet.
Well, no one's perfect. Jokes aside, we find something fishy in the paperwork.
Everything discovered in this warrant is fruit of the poison tree.
It's inadmissible, which means that piece of paper is
get out of jail free card.
Now, the question is, what do we do? Matthew wants to do nothing, but Foggy wants to do the right thing, even though this dude was being mean, ruthless, disgusting to Foggy.
Whoever he was working with, they're gonna kill him when he's inside.
Yeah, might be the definition of consequences.
Seems like if Foggy wasn't in Daredevil's life, Matthew Murdock's life, then he would have been on the Green Arrow route, the better route. As we go to Fisk and Wesley, we, once again, don't have time for the chatter, so we head to Daniel. And BB might have messed up.
Where we understand Vanessa Fisk is in critical condition.
BB, no way.
Uh-oh, this is not good. As Buckaroo shows up, telling us he's in a mood for a hot dog, and also that Vanessa is out of surgery. But don't get excited yet, because the doctor's talking about some hope.
And I remain hopeful. Hope.
Hope? We once again reminisce about that honeymoon on the beach as Fisk holds her hand, knowing she'll pull through. She has to, because if she doesn't, then New York will pay the cost. Back to Buck. Apparently, we aren't going for hot dogs.
The mayor is aware we're going to Albany.
Huh? Yo, Albany.
This is not looking good for Daniel, but do not lose your nerve because Buck starts playing detective.
And now it seems someone, God knows who, has leaked the hospital to the press.
Daniel pleads his innocence, to which Buck ignores because we made it to our destination.
Buck, am I in trouble?
Be right back.
Daniel offers to come inside, but Buck tells him to just chill inside the car. That is never a good sign, especially with these guys, and Daniel knows it, wondering to himself, how did he fall for the hezzy? Ah, that's how. Buckaroo returns with some interesting supplies. Daniel is not looking good. As we go back to the flashback, we see this is where Fisk and Wesley meet Buck, giving him a target, aka FYI, our client. As we see Matthew and Foggy got him free, but his time might be limited considering Buckaroo might soon be on his tail. Bully and the devil make it to the church.
You know what happens if she dies?
Fist turns the city upside down and shakes it and kills us.
Me. Kills me.
Us. I was there.
Guilty just by being within the atmosphere. Now that's crazy. But Matthew starts talking about this nurse that could help Bully. But Poindexter might have lost too much fluids because he's talking gibberish.
Killing people, saving people. And brother, we are who we are.
Headlights shining in the dark night I drive on. I'm really hoping someone, at least one person, understood that reference. Anyways, the SP pulls up.
This church will always provide shelter to both of you, but I think they know you're here.
As we see this loser banging on the door. Relax, bozo. All of a sudden now he's big and strong. But when it came to Vanessa, where was the strength? Non-existent. This bozo just picks and chooses. Pathetic. The SP opens up as we see the devil. He hides Bullseye.
Weapons are not permitted in the house of God.
The rules have changed.
Come on in, boys.
Okay. Matthew hears the cops nearing. What is his game plan? What can Matthew Murdock do?
Just let me die.
Matthew has to make a decision, and he has to do it now.
I can't save us both. I'm sorry, I tried.
Matthew leaves Bullseye? I can't lie, I did not see that coming. But now he's home free.
Imagine my surprise.
Matthew starts pressing Foggy about giving the client the money that they worked so hard to save up. Joshua, what? When did this happen? Dog, dude, bro, I put it on the screen during Matthew and Bullseye's chat, but I use your videos as background noise, so I wasn't looking. Ah, interesting. I'll consider that going forward.
I'm sorry. I'll pay it back.
And there I was thinking the Murdoch and Nelson Fund was supposed to be about the future.
It is, but not just ours.
That's the straw that broke. No, that saved the camel's back. Matthew reaches out a hand, lifting Bullseye as the task force finds the blood. But too little too late. Kind of like it is for Daniel, as he pleads with Buck not to off him, sticking with the story that he didn't leak anything.
Get out of the car, Daniel.
Uh-oh. And before we see what happens, we go back to past Buck, ready to catch a body. Kind of like he's about to do it Daniel. Once again, pleading his innocence, his loyalty, his determination. Telling Buckaroo,
I'll do whatever it takes. Please.
Make a choice.
As we see a body.
Saw or shovel?
Hilarious. I guess this is Buck's way of telling a joke. As we see the past client booking it. Matthew is carrying Bullseye on his shoulders. Entering base, seeing Karen, who is at a loss for words.
It'll help.
As for Vanessa, she grabs the hand of Fisk. Fisk could cry right now. When Fisk isn't being a bozo, he's actually a really nice person, kinda.
I wasn't sure that I would see you again.
Scary, isn't it? Fisk starts asking Vanessa if she needs anything, from a glass of water to the entire world. The choice is hers, just say the word.
I'd like a pineapple juice with ice.
You don't like pineapple.
I don't.
Aw, shucks, man. This is not a good sign, but she still wants it. So I guess I was just being dramatic.
Nurse!
Is everything okay?
No, she wants a pineapple juice.
Fisk demands pineapple juice for his beloved, and you better not forget the ice.
That was divine.
Okay, I guess she likes pineapple juice now.
You tell me a story.
What kind of story would you like me to tell?
Tell me the story of how we met.
Just to be clear, is Vanessa losing her memory, or am I reading this wrong? Hold that thought. We have an urgent situation.
You tell me a story. Can you tell me the story of how we...
Vanessa? Vanessa?
Something begins going wrong. Fisk calls for the nurses as they pull up with efficiency. Fisk is screaming. It's not pretty. Vanessa's heart stops. The nurses start using defibrillators as we see Fisk's eyes begin to flood. Hands in the air, hoping for a miracle that would never come. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all boys. What was the point of this? They kept Vanessa alive just to give her pineapple juice? Are we serious? We now see Fisk letting the pain out as Vanessa lies there, lifeless. Rest in peace, my granny. No, Brick, stop. The doctor pulls up, giving us words of wisdom, putting his hand on the shoulder of Fisk. But Fisk doesn't get mad. Rather, Fisk gets up, hugging the doctor. Seen that one coming. The mayhem is now upon us. Wait, no, not yet. We fast forward to the funeral. Everyone's here as we see Bullseye is chained. And also, Charles was robbed by the task force and they're getting loaded up with his weapons. Fisk leaves a rose upon the casket as he embarks on a journey of revenge. We now see this mother and daughter. Some off-brand task force are pulling up. This might not end well. The mother goes outside and starts handling these bozos. Ain't no way. The daughter grabs the bomb, playing with it like it's some fairy wings. I'm talking shaking it, bashing it as the mother returns.
This is not a toy.
We see it's Jessica Jones. And I've been seeing a lot of hype surrounding her name. Now, I never watched Jessica Jones, but I did watch Defenders, and I can definitely say I was not impressed. Jessica's in the same boat as Danny Rand, but I mean, times have changed. She could have gotten better. So with that being said, we will be holding her to the standards of Daredevil. We now see the Aunt Batty, and she healed Bullseye.
I'm really doing my best here, but he could really use a hospital.
I would sign his death warrant.
Maybe we should.
Karen wants the death of Poindexter. Karen wants revenge for Foggy. And even Angela agrees.
Whole city's popping off because of what he did.
It was an accident.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't an accident. But for the sake of morale, let's believe that. Angela and the auntie head off as Matt and Kat, that was terrible. As Matthew and Karen begin scheming their next move. To which Karen's plan is to kill Fisk.
It is not up to us to take a life.
I know! Right? I pay every day for what I did to Wesley. I still have nightmares.
But Karen doesn't regret it. It was him or her. Dog eat dog world.
What if this doesn't end until one of you goes down?
I can't think about it that way.
Well, you're gonna have to.
I can't lie. Karen is charging me up, whatever that means. But I'm liking how she's coming. Like, if she kept this energy, minus the wanting to kill Fisk part, then she might be top 5. But Joshua, why minus the killing Fisk? Because we all know that isn't Karen. She's just scared, not caring about anything. And that isn't Karen. Karen is Karen. So for her to not be Karen shows that something's wrong. As her phone buzzes, getting a message from her. So Matthew goes to head off.
What do we do about him?
Vengeance isn't justice, Karen.
We go to Fisk and the political baddies. Oh nice, BB's also here, saying happy birthday to White Vans. But Daniel isn't feeling it, worrying more about Fisk, to which BB starts seducing.
Where are we going tonight? What are we doing?
We're doing nothing.
But actually, Daniel's going to his madre's house.
What if I came with?
You actually want to come to Staten Island?
Yeah.
But Buck interrupts, saving Daniel from fumbling again. And we see Daniel is still a little bit jumpy about, carving up that body.
And the big time will take care of you. If you take care of it.
I think we all know what Buck means.
Our friend BB.
She's not the leak.
But Buck doesn't trust her. So Buckaroo tells Daniel to use their date as a way to bait BB.
Feed her something false. See if it resurfaces.
BB is going to have to be locked in.
And happy birthday.
We are getting pressured from all angles. And you remember Charles, right? He calls up Fisk, to which Fisk doesn't even say a word and just hangs up. But now it's time to take a stand. Come one, come all. We see Vanessa's memorial as the thugs from earlier pull up protesting. And just know, later on it's gonna get wicked as we go to the devil. He meets up with Jessica Jones.
You said this wouldn't touch me.
It shouldn't have, Jess. That's way out of task force jurisdiction.
It wasn't task force.
The ones who attacked Jessica were soldiers of Charles.
He was interested in people like us. I told him to f off. Not everyone I know did.
Who do you guys think she's talking about? But who cares right now? Matthew begins scouting the task force, hearing that episode 1 watch.
So, do you want to cause a little trouble?
Time for the evaluation. Jessica sends a guard through the wall and comes strutting in. It's Daredevil! You see? Now that's greatness. Let me break this down for you. Jessica threw a grown man through a wall, yet the guard wasn't fazed. But when Daredevil simply, happily, jollily walks through the door, bro got the jitters. Jessica, I'm gonna need some more action from you. As she throws a crate, Matthew chucks a Billy into a flying knee as Jessica uses a shield. Now, I know she's not bulletproof, but this is what you guys were hyping up? A riot shielder? Oh, brother. Jessica whacks the loser, then takes cover.
You don't want to do that!
Daredevil concusses both the guards, jumping off the wall as Jessica finishes the job. Beautiful teamwork, I can't lie. Jessica, you are gaining points as Jessica hits a woo kick. Move it! Jessica, did your controller turn off? The guard screams move in, yet you didn't react. But you know what? Maybe she couldn't hear it, so we'll let that slide. But Matthew warned you, yet you didn't move. You stood there like a stooge, waiting for them to bust. Jessica and Danny are two peas in a pod. Nonetheless, Jessica ducks out the way, kicking the barrel. Okay, good play. Can you keep it up though? Jessica sends this loser flying, disarms the strap. Dog, what? Did I miss something? Or am I just not understanding? Because earlier, Jessica did say something about having a misplaced rib.
While you're breathing, you might have cracked a rib.
I'm fine. Shit happens. After Danielle, it just drops out sometimes, then comes back.
So if I'm understanding correctly, if Jessica has a injury, then she's just a regular human? Or even worse, she's just Danny Rand without the Iron Fist. In other words, useless. Because how weak does she get? To the point after she punched Powell, she got hurt. Now, I understand he's a knucklehead, but come on. I'm appalled. But anyways, Jessica gets knocked down, but Matthew comes to the rescue. And luckily, the task force can't chase because this pop stand is about to pop and will no longer be standing. So they gotta go. As we go to Heather, long time no see. Heather stares at her reflection, hearing distorted thoughts.
Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, hype the video, like the video.
Huh, spooky. Buckaroo pulls up and they begin talking about Heather killing Muse, remembering the cut, remembering the choking, to which Buck replies,
Show me.
Yeah, whatever you're into, Buck. Buck allows Heather to choke him. As her grip tightens, she remembers every moment. And oddly enough, it calms her down. But now we go to Daniel and BB. Daniel is ready to lay down the bait.
I tell you this, you gotta promise that it didn't come from me, and it cannot be leaked.
Yes, totally. What is it?
BB claims she's no rat, claims that she'll keep the secret.
He's not running for re-election.
Wait, what?
Daniel claims to BB that Fisk told him at the funeral. As we go to the task force, we see Alan gets a new card, but Powell still seems suspicious of him. We now go to Bullseye. Karen seems to be on timing.
Hello, Karen.
Hello, Benjamin.
Karen is considering shooting Poindexter, not caring about what Matthew will say as she stands, putting the stick to his cranium.
Thank you.
Flashes of Foggy appear, angering Karen even more. Matthew with another buzzer beater. These two have gotta be besties now.
What the hell is wrong with you? You keep choosing the wrong people, Fisk! This thing over the people who love you!
Karen begins to erupt, but referring to Bullseye as this thing was actually hilarious.
What? How can you say that?
Because it's true. Because you let them live and people die.
Hey Karen, I think we have room for you on Team Arrow as she begs Matthew to allow her to end this.
What happened to you?
I don't know if that's the best question to ask as Karen begins telling Matthew that Christophe is dead.
You want to know what happened to me? I grew up.
how are you guys feeling about this Karen? For me, it kind of feels like she's the Shane from The Walking Dead. We now go to the protest as Pal pulls up on Alan. It seems like Pal might be onto him. As we go to this baddie. Whoops, that's Daniel's mom. Anyways, the date seems to be going well. As BB asks for the bathroom, Daniel stares at her coat. Bro, I refuse to believe she left the chip in there. But we see BB on her phone typing out the message, the leak. But she doesn't press send. Rather, she gets intrigued by this room, Daniel's room. And after looking around, BB decides to cancel the message, saving her life without even knowing. As these boys start singing happy birthday, the protest is still ongoing. Ooh, they got Daredevil mask. That's sick. Oh, the auntie's here too. As the governor baddie gets met by Charles.
I am here to solve your city hall problem.
But now it's back to BB. She gives Daniel a gift and there's one more waiting.
What? Stop. Just stop.
Daniel pulls out the chip. There's no way BB sold this hard. I'm hoping it's like some big brain play, you know? Daniel is angered, but also worried as Buck begins calling. We see the news is going ballistic. Karen's here as Fisk watches from his window.
I have news. The governor is pulling her support.
2 projectors turn on, playing the victims' videos of the truth of everyone who was brought to those camps and saved by the devil. As Matthew pulls up on the Kingpin.
I'm not surprised you're here, Murdoch.
I'm sorry for your loss, Wilson.
But we all know that's not why Matthew's here. He's here because Fisk is poisoning the city. Because Fisk is failing the city. So Mr. Murdoch tells Mr. Wilson they have to end this.
So what would it take for you to walk away?
I'd ask the same of you.
And Matthew's reply to that is,
you leave New York, I leave New York.
As we see Team Karen walking out after a job well done. But here's where everything takes a course for the worse.
Imagine if we'd never met. Foggy, Vanessa.
No! No!
This chucks the chair. Matthew isn't fighting back, just effortlessly evading Wilson. As we go to Pal, he receives some orders.
Weapons free, kid. I know it was you. I know it was you, you Fredo.
Pal offs Alan.
How? What the f? Fucking vigilantes.
They killed Saunders!
Wow, Pal. That was insane. Pal really hit him with that pow. The task force start pushing the protesters back as Matthew is still evading, dodging Fisk, but he can only weave for so long as Fisk gets a hold of him, hitting a heavy left. As the task force is raining havoc, Fisk swings Matthew, realizing he ruined Vanessa's art and takes his frustrations out on Devil.
Is this really what you want? That's what we both want.
So Matthew has no choice but to pull out those billies. Come on! These boys begin the showdown, letting it all out. Hitting whatever dodge this was, Matthew grapples into an off-the-wall 360. Daredevil gets knocked back as Fisk goes for the final blow, hurting his hand. And we can't let this moment slip. Matt kicks the knee, smacks the face, smooth uppercut. Peep the extension, bringing Fisk to a knee. Now it's time for the final blow. Matthew ties Fisk up, pushing in for a dastardly knee, knocking the king down. As we see the mayhem outside, the thug gets knocked out and Karen's wig gets snatched. But we see Fisk struggling to his feet.
What are you going to do? Arrest me? You cannot. Kill me? You will not.
Fisk isn't wrong. Matthew can't put him in jail and he won't break the code. So let's just hope Matthew can find a way to end Kingpin's terror as Matthew walks away. Great. Karen tells Angela to go get help. As for Karen, she...
Holy sh**. Karen Page.
Hal aims at Karen. The protest has come to an end. We see the mess that was made as we pan to the devil. We hear there was 3 injuries and 2 deaths as Wilson gets suited up, grabbing the bling. But now we go to the police station. We see Karen getting taken into the system and brought to her cell. And guess who's paying her a visit? Wilson, Kingpin, Fisk.
You broke in and deluded. You abet his crimes. For what? Love.
Fisk has got to be trolling. But Karen stands, getting in the face of the king.
You know, I've never seen you scared before. I kind of like it.
To which Kingpin responds by... But Karen isn't afraid. She has been chilling with the devil. It will take more than a slight squeeze to put fear in her heart. As Fisk releases his grip,
you have one phone call. Choose it wisely.
We now go to Charles, who gets awoken by Jessica pressing bro about that stunt he pulled. But But water under the bridge. Let's get to the details.
Don't forget, I am the only one that can connect you with Luke.
Where is he?
He is overseas. He's doing the Lord's work, so you don't have to.
Interesting. And then Charles tells us that Fisk will be aiming to off the governor. So Jessica pulls up on Matthew, telling bro the news.
She's the only one who can revoke the Freeport's charter.
And here's the cherry on top. Cherry pulls up on top of the roof. Good joke, Joshua. That was hilarious. Thank you. Thank you. Cherry tells Matt what's going on with Karen.
Karen's at the 15th precinct.
Nice.
Now, hold on there, cowboy.
Matthew can't bust Karen out due to her being booked legit.
You go in there and bust her out, you are the criminal he says you are.
She's not safe there.
If he was gonna hurt her, he'd have done it already. Look, I'm told he went to the precinct, they talked, he left.
As Matthew puts two and two together, finding out Fisk is making a leaker. And I'm not talking faucet. Another good joke, Joshua. Thank you. I'm on fire right now. But as for Jessica, she's still on the fence on whether she wants to join the fight or not.
So what do you think? Are you gonna hit the 15th?
I don't know. There might be another way.
I can't help you there.
Jessica has to get home to her daughter as she heads off. But now it's time to go to our best friends. We see Matthew unchaining Poindexter, bringing up that one good deed. A way Poindexter can balance the scales. But before that, let's get one thing clear.
I hate you for Foggy. Part of me wants to kill you, and part of me needs to forgive you.
And now that that's out the way, it's time to bring up that one good deed. But we won't see that until later. So for now, we see Karen being alarmed by approaching footsteps. But we see it's Brett, the hitman Hart, and bro's about to light up Karen's world, opening the prison door and taking Karen to the devil as they embrace. You're probably thinking, wow, this prison break was so easy. To which I say, don't be so naive.
Listen, we don't have much time. I need you.
I can't go with you.
No, I know. I didn't come to get you.
Both these boys know they have to be Fisk in court. And because of that, Karen can't break free. Now you're probably thinking, why would they go to court when it's obviously rigged? To which I say, don't be so naive.
That means there'll be cameras.
Exactly. Turns out we may have to cross lines to stop it. Just not the ones you think.
Karen realizes what Matthew was talking about and tries to stop him. Well, actually, she didn't actually try to stop him. It was more so like a, no, don't. And then Matthew was like, this is what I must do. This is my destiny. Oh, what am I talking about? You guys get the point. Matthew and Karen embrace one last time as Karen gets taken back to her cell. We now go to Heather and Fisk. They begin sharing the pain of losing Vanessa as Fisk gives Heather this ruby. But now we see Karen heading to court with the baddie. But before that goes down, we see white vans and BB.
I can't keep stalling. Buck.
Dude, f him.
F him. F you.
Daniel is livid, fuming, seething. But above all, he's scared, not knowing what to do about BB.
He killed my uncle.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
But boo-hoo, bozo, because right now it's BB or him. And actually, it's not just Daniel, because after Daniel, it'll be his mom. And after his mom, it will be BB. And I'm no mathematician, but I'm pretty sure these odds are terrible.
Give me my phone.
No.
Why?
Because I don't trust you.
Where's Daniel's mom right now? Whatever. Daniel suggests a safe house, or should I say a whole house, because Daniel texts Buck to Addie he's going to hold BB. But now we have to listen to this quote by Fisk.
Do you think Karen Page knows that she's the wounded soldier, screaming in the field, drawing her comrades into the line of fire?
That's a bar. The baddies are now positioned, ready to take this head on as the trial begins.
But first, I want you to think on one very important concept. What is a vigilante? Is it he or she who breaks the law in order to get their own version of justice? Or is a vigilante the last resort to obtain the justice that a broken society can no longer supply?
A baddie at work. Ooh, I don't think I ever showed you guys the double growl. That's special occasions only. But I'm so fired up right now. But now let's hear what our enemy has to say.
Miss Page is not a hero. No, she's a criminal responsible for the destruction of innocent human lives.
What is blood yapping about? He just said a whole lot of nothing. But it's not about what you say. It's about how you say it.
Your Honors, you have a duty to this city, and fulfilling that duty can only come to one conclusion.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
And now it's time to call in a witness.
Before we proceed, I'd like to bring in my co-counsel.
The baddie wants to call in a teammate, and we see it.
Matthew Murdock for the defense, Your Honors.
Mr. Murdock is back, and we see he also got a haircut. Fisk is disgusted. He did not account for this, as this dude gets called to the stand.
Can you tell me about those scars on your face?
I got these in a firefight with Daredevil and Frank Castle.
And Mr. Murdoch's apartment.
Yes.
But now the question is, why? Why were the task force at Matthew Murdock's apartment?
We were performing a welfare check.
Welfare check with assault rifles and MRAP personnel carriers? I don't know, seems like a lot of hardware for a blind lawyer.
The baddie is moving beautifully. Keep applying the pressure.
Was the defendant there?
I was told she drove the getaway vehicle.
You were told. What else did Officer Powell tell you to do? Did he tell you to kill Hector Ayala? Or maybe that was Mayor Fisk.
Objection! The loser says, as the baddie gets told.
I will caution you against these theatrics and remind you that there's no jury to play to here.
Sure about that, Your Honor?
We see the cameras and the governor watching, and she's about to do what governors do, and that's in the reign of Fisk. Hot diggity dog. By the way, that phrase is not even in my arsenal, but I'm just feeling alive. Unlike BB, because Daniel makes it to the spot, and we see Buckles fiending for this body, as White Vance confesses to BB that he chopped up a body, then gets out the car, escorting BB. But then her senses kick in.
This isn't a safe house, is it?
Daniel grabs BB. So dramatic. Daniel grabs BB as she begs Daniel to stop this.
Is this really the person you want to be?
And the truth is, it isn't. So Daniel takes BB away, giving her her phone and saying,
Don't go home, don't tell me where, and do not go any place he would look, okay?
Wait, what are you gonna do?
You do the right thing, just let me.
Thank you.
How touching. But before we see Daniel's fate, we go to the courtroom, and the trial has been adjourned till tomorrow. But we see the task force eyeing Team Red. Get these boys some knee pads.
You're looking at me like you want to suck my hog.
Karen goes back to prison as the task force is planning something devious. Team Red is being escorted out by some good cops that scan the whole garage, giving Team Red the all clear.
Run! Jerry!
Task force starts spinning, letting it sing. Offing a cop, Jerry begins applying tension. Matthew gets the baddie inside, setting them free, but takes a bullet to the knee. Amazing last-ditch effort as Matthew limps away. We are now with the governor. A goon gets to lurking like a caged tiger. And you don't cage a tiger. The goon is slowly approaching the governor and begins choking. The governor tries to struggle, but his grip is too strong. If the governor dies, then Fisk will win. Bullseye has saved the governor as he walks off, accomplishing his one good deed. But now, fasten your seatbelts, buckle up, cover your head, because Daniel pulls up on Buck.
Where is she?
Daniel doesn't respond, so Buckaroo stands, taking off his jacket. Daniel knows what's about to come.
Fuck you, Buck.
Headbutt! Get that boy to the floor! Matter of fact, start choking him. There has been so much choking, and I'm not talking Steph Curry. Daniel tries hitting the... You can't have my booty! Buck counters, getting Daniel to the floor and putting the Omni-Mans on him.
No! No!
So while Daniel's getting beat, we go to Karen, who gets met by a sassy, sexy-looking Heather. She must have upped her beauty stats by 10 when she realized she was meeting with the woman Matthew prefers. But long story short, she's here to do her cycle. Who cares? Let's get to the juice.
I'm in love with this man. He's completely inaccessible. He's distant, complicated. Worries me. As it should. It's also totally hot.
Is she talking about me? Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but she doesn't know you exist, loser. I know. Heather cuts the mic and starts going low.
What kind of person kills their own brother?
Don't lose your nerve, Karen. You must stay strong.
Is Kevin molesting you?
Wowzers. Now, if you remember the backstory of season 3, then you know what really happened. As Heather continues to rage bait, Karen decides it's time to start firing back.
You were friends with Vanessa Fisk, weren't you?
I'm not answering any personal questions. That's unprofessional.
Yeah, well, she had my friend Foggy killed. Did you know that? Is that in those files?
As we see Muse watching, stalking, converting.
That really hurt you, didn't it? Enough that you'd run to them to feel safe. Look, I get it. I'm so sorry.
Heather grabs Karen.
Don't pity me.
Karen laughs hysterically in her face.
Too late.
Is that all you got?
Karen begins chuckling to no end as Heather takes her leave. You just know Muse is loving this. But no more jokes. It's time to get serious. We see Matthew makes it to the church, saying a prayer as Jessica Jones comes walking in. But as for Daniel...
Where, Daniel?
Daniel has taken a beating like no other.
I don't enjoy this.
Daniel is like a little brother to Buck, which is why it sucks it has to come to this. Buck draws the Glock.
Last chance.
Daniel's life begins flashing before his eyes as he tells Buckaroo,
What is following his orders gonna do for you? How long till you're on the floor with a gun pointed at your head?
Daniel gets off. And the crazy part about this is I heard there was a version where he actually lives. Now, he wasn't one of my favorite characters, but he did remind me of those mafia characters who realize way too late what they're really in. We now see Karen and Matthew happy. Not a care in the world, currently on a romantic date, but that's only a memory. We are back in the courtroom as Matthew is running late, getting stitched up by Jessica.
You're not even that bad.
It's easy for you to say. I'm not built like you.
You've never tried childbirth.
Matthew, you are built better. Jessica can't do what you can do. But let's check on the king. Buck informs Fisk about Daniel's betrayal. Fisk is in disbelief, but I'm guessing Fisk already assumes that Buck off Daniel because Fisk didn't even ask and Buckaroo didn't even have to say it.
Seems Murdoch has survived the night.
You really want to do this?
Fisk must be planning something dastardly as we see Heather on the stand giving her BS. But then walks in Matthew. Murdoch! Heather doesn't know how to feel.
Ms. Page continues to unravel. In our interview last night, she demonstrated hostility, duplicity.
Objection.
Matthew walks in and is already making plays.
It's prejudicial. Sidesteps any objective diagnosis with conjecture.
Heather did not like that. But who cares what she likes and doesn't like?
Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. Just got shot in the leg.
No biggie. Nonetheless, the baddie starts cooking. It's time, y'all boys. We are in the finale.
You said the real mask is the face the vigilante wears in public, right? The son, the boss, maybe even the clinical professional?
Is that a question?
Dr. Glenn, did you strike Miss Page during your evaluation last night?
Objection. Absolutely not.
Now here's where Murdoch tags in.
Does a vigilante need a mask?
She didn't need a mask. She hid behind Daredevils.
Predictable idiot. Even I can see where Matthew is going with this.
In the same way that you're hiding behind the Fisk administration.
Objection.
Too easy. But now it's time to take a lunch as we see some task force members heading into this abandoned warehouse. But my oh my, we see a fake Bullseye prepping a sniper, setting his sights. But before we find out on who, we go back to court. It's time to call in a witness.
The defense calls Mayor Wilson Fisk.
The Kingpin walks in. Everyone's eyes are on the king as Matthew listens to his heartbeat, knowing that Fisk will be honest. And hold up, the whole task force walks in. I'm ready for this. But real quick, let's go back to the warehouse. You already know who's coming as Bully drops another, then cuts the cams. We see the fake Bullseye aiming as a guard gets off. And this dude got it the worst. Bro got filled with knives, then gets his skull bashed into a pillar. What a gruesome way to go as Bullseye shakingly puts his hands up as we see the real deal. Bullseye chuckles as Bullseye foolishly reaches for his stick, getting stabbed in the arm, but he's not down yet. Bullseye chucks a triple, hitting the gun and the goon's hand, then simply pushes Lil Bro down. But dog, he's doing way too much screaming. Jeez, finally some peace and quiet.
Poser.
Bullseye now takes aim as we go back to Quat.
But we can bring these criminals like Karen Page and Daredevil to justice. People we lost deserve that.
To which Matthew responds by,
I'm sorry, was that an answer or a speech, Mr. Mayor?
But now you're probably wondering, what was the question?
You asked me why I enacted the Safer Streets initiative. You of all people should know you were there.
When Bullseye took a shot at you. Actually, you called me a hero that night, didn't you?
Objection.
But Matthew's doing too much yapping. Get to the point, blind spot.
Your policies, as harsh as they may be, did not prevent a criminal from taking a shot at you and ultimately murdering your wife. An assassin, actually, who I believe was once in your employ.
Objection.
Bro, you guys don't know this, but this dude has been spamming objections. But little does he know, everything Matthew is saying is with a purpose. As Matthew asks Fisk if he knew the Northern Star was smuggling weapons.
Objection assumes evidence not on the record.
Sustained.
Here we go again. And I can't even hate on it. It's just funny now. But now, we actually have to lock in.
Mr. Mayor, did Daredevil sink the Northern Star?
Ooh. You can't feel it, but my heart is racing. It's about to get real.
The evidence says yes.
No, it doesn't. The evidence does not suggest that. The only thing that's been presented is testimony from Officer Powell, who is in your employ, who takes his orders from you. It is the allegation of the district attorney, who, guess what, is in your employ, takes his orders from you.
Objection!
Overruled.
Matthew is getting in his bag, bringing out the evidence from Christophe. But Christophe is, gone. So to make sure this evidence is allowed, the judge calls us to the chambers.
And relevant to what?
Murdoch.
Fisk calls out to Matthew, threatening to ruin his life.
There are things I can say in here that will ruin your life. With complete support of the legal system, I can have you thrown in a cell forever.
I could say the same about you.
Excuse me?
That's hilarious. But long story short, Christophe's video is allowed as we hear the truth.
Order.
Your Honor, the witness we just heard from is not in court. As such, his testimony remains immaterial unless it can be corroborated by someone who is actually on the Northern Star.
This dude is moving like Jayoma, but little does he know, that's exactly what Matthew intends to do.
We have determined that Daredevil was on the Northern Star, correct? So, if only we could ask him what he witnessed that night.
I welcome going down this road with you, Mr. Murdoch.
Is Matthew going to do what we are all thinking right now as Murdoch slowly starts easing in?
Take me, for example. I took a bullet for you, didn't I? Would that make me a hero?
Jessica Jones walks in, staring Powell down, and we can see how little he truly is.
Mr. Fisk, did you or did you not orchestrate the sale of military-grade weapons and then order the Northern Star to be scuttled when your plan was exposed?
Do not answer that.
Why not answer?
Do not answer it.
Answer it, sir!
I will answer it!
What is Fisk thinking? Is he getting emotional, or does he actually have a plan?
All you need to know is that I'm running this city and it's thriving. Anything else is above your pay grade, little man.
Okay, emotional. But Matthew is done. He's going to do whatever it takes to lock Fisk up.
Correct, but we've established there was another witness on that boat, haven't we?
The only other witness was Daredevil. Buckaroo can't believe what Matthew is thinking. Surely he won't do it.
You and I both know who Daredevil is. He's the man who knows exactly what happened on the Northern Star. He knows exactly what happened in my apartment, and he knows exactly who the real criminal in this courtroom is. Isn't that right?
Clearly, Matthew's going off script because even Karen's surprised.
You are a fool.
No, Matthew's no fool.
I am Daredevil.
The crowd gasps. Heather shakes her head. The people are lost. People are confused. This blind man being the devil, it doesn't make sense. Jessica softly smiles.
Are you honestly going to tell this court that Daredevil is a blind?
The cat is out the bag. This did not predict this. This was Matthew's biggest card. As the judge is calling for order, Matthew begins exposing the truth about the Northern Star.
Northern Star smuggled weapons into the city under orders from Mayor Fisk.
Objection!
I was there and can testify to this.
And keep in mind, we have Jessica Jones as a witness as Matthew continues chowing down.
Fisk smuggling is a criminal act. Enough evidence has been provided to charge Fisk with these crimes. But
Are you
first,
really-
I'm not finished!
Overruled.
Man, I'm loving this, loving this, loving this. Do courtrooms actually get back, bro? I can't breathe right now. Okay, deep breaths, deep breaths. Do courtrooms actually get this intense? Matthew continues preaching. Karen holds back tears.
Your Honor, this court was formed to adjudicate the Safer Streets Initiative, an initiative created by this man, which means this court has neither the ability nor the mandate to decide justice.
Matthew was in his foggy bag on that one as we see Heather. I thought she would have had a better reaction, but maybe she always knew and didn't want to believe it, I guess. Or maybe Muse is just consoling her. The baddie, however, is in disbelief.
Daredevil or not, Mr. Murdoch is right. Miss Page's crimes, if they even are crimes, cannot be judged by this court.
Woo! Let's go! Karen's quote-unquote crimes cannot be judged by this court.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move for dismissal.
Granted, this case is dismissed with prejudice. Miss Page, you're free to go.
Come on! That is how you slay the king, by taking him down a peg. And don't forget, we got Bullseye outside. That isn't for nothing. As Matthew and Karen are hugging to no end, Jessica takes her leave.
You've won nothing, Mr. Murdoch.
Sounds like something a sore loser would say as Fisk walks out.
Mr. Fisk, the Attorney General has filed charges against you.
The Gumnut baddie's making plays. She even froze his assets, then brings up the attempted murder Fisk tried to pull because, fun fact, Bullseye didn't kill him, he lived.
He has a lot to say.
Fisk takes his leave, seeing the devil, calling him a coward. As these two face off, we see Bullseye listening in on the comms.
I've lost nothing.
Murdoch's coming out. Prepare the shot. Repeat, prepare to take the shot.
Sorry, pal. Wrong bullseye.
Sir, it's a trap!
Buck reaches for the stick, getting shot by Poindexter. There's now an outrage. Pal starts firing, but Poindexter's already walking off. As Team Red continues to flee, Team King is doing the same, heading back to the courtroom. Fast forward, the task force is now protecting the courthouse. No one gets in, no one gets out. As we see Team Red watching Fisk on the news.
New York is in a state of emergency. I will not abandon you. I will stand and fight. Will you?
Fisk is asking for a war. So that means we can't call for the National Guard. But then Matthew hears something, and it's the BB report. Geez, she works fast. And this time, BB's not disguising her voice.
We are under siege by the task force, by the people who kill our family, our friends, and lock us up.
BB removes the mask, showing her be beautiful. Crap! You guys seen the vision though, right? That could have been so smooth. BB removes the mask, showing her face, showing that she is without fear. As the people of New York begin prepping, it's about to go down.
Trick or treat.
Jessica tosses Matthew a bag, and do I even have to say what's inside? As we see a rally storming the courthouse, it's time.
Whatever happens tonight, to them, to me, to you, Matt Murdock and Karen Page never leave this building alive.
The task force moves out as the devil hears their every step. Jessica hits one last chug and gets ready for battle.
Ready?
Finally.
I'm loving that energy. We see all the supporters of Daredevil. Recordings are at every angle as Cherry steps up.
Jerry, aren't you supposed to be upstate playing bingo or some shit?
I can't lie. That was a good one as the task force readies their guns. But let's check on Heather.
Heather. Give me your jacket.
It's a canali.
He's shivering. Give it to me.
Use your own jacket, bozo. But that's not why I'm showing this scene. The lawyer is having a change of heart.
We are both reasonable people. There's no reason we should burn with him.
But so much is happening. The task force is ready to blow.
Shoot him.
Angela comes in, speaking about Hector, to which Pal calls him a cop killer.
I said shoot that bastard.
The Aunt Baddie comes in, defending Hector's honor, telling the truth. This dude begins thinking for himself.
You told me Ayala pushed him off the platform.
I told you to shoot that guy.
But if you remember last episode, when this dude saw Alan die, he was distorted, which means he doesn't like senseless killing.
He's one of ours. He's not one of ours. He's one of them. What the fuck happened to you? You lose your balls in that fire too? I gave you a direct fucking order.
No.
Fine, you won't do it, I will. I'll fucking do it.
Finally! It's about time, bozo! As we see Team Red loving this. And guess what? The greatness isn't over.
Let him in.
Oh, and as for Heather.
Why don't you and I get out of here?
Was this dude always a freak? Or is this new? What made bro think this was smooth? As the devil's reign begins, the courthouse is storming. As for Team Jessica, they come in swinging, peeped off the wall, holding a hostage. As Sheila gets a call from the AG, telling Fisk to resign.
Renounce your citizenship, go into exile.
I won't be this.
Fisk is losing it, demanding for the door to be opened.
Open that door!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get spooky. Nah, the Fisk crash out is here. Bro, this is what I wanted to see. Fisk brushes off one, crushes the skull of the second as DJ is still putting in work, hitting a loser out the window. But who cares right now? Fisk is throwing bodies. Catch the brick and break the spine. This guy begins begging for his life, but Fisk offs him with that Viltrumite special. Come on! Come on! Then that little man flying. We go back to DJ, and honestly, I really just want to see Fisk right now. But just so you know, Angela comes in on her Rey Mysterio, and Karen was also putting in work. Back to Fisk. Bro, everybody's getting it. Grab the wrist, grab the chin, headbutt the other. The devils are scared for their life. But one man is courageous, but also foolish, getting his arm broken and blown. Fisk is covered in blood, but the job's not finished. As we see Matthew with the supporters, Kingpin comes walking out, throwing down two bodies before he enters. The crowd is booing, to which Fisk is confused.
You're wrong about me. I have done everything for you.
Crazy part is, Wilson truly believes this. As the crowd begins to rush, they're making a big mistake. That's one body. That's two bodies. Come on! Who's next? These boys are getting thrown overboard, to which, better than being punched. Well, depending on how you land, that is. But Matthew has seen enough. Him and Jessica join the fight. We see Fisk is being surrounded, brought to the floor, being jumped, seeing nothing but devils. No! Matthew begs the devils to stop, as we see they are this close to jumping Fisk to death.
We're better than this!
Stay down, Fisk!
Matthew and Fisk stare into each other's eyes, both knowing that it's finally over.
It's over for both of us.
Fisk knows Matthew's correct, but still refuses the deal. So Matthew starts using the facts.
I believe you love this city same as me. We have the opportunity to give it peace. Even if we have none, that's grace.
Wilson stands staring at all the people of New York as Matthew begs Fisk to take the deal.
I accept.
Fisk finally came along, taking the deal to go away. Fast forward, we see Karen and Matthew. Everything is normal, to which it feels not normal because they've been through so much and it's still not over because the cops pull up.
I thought we'd have more time.
Matthew gets on his knees.
Matthew Murdock.
Yes, sir.
You're under arrest for assault, attempted murder, and it's a long list.
Daredevil's crimes.
Karen and Matthew now say goodbye. We see Jessica with her daughter as a black figure approaches.
Daddy!
We see Luke Cage, and he's the father. As we find out his work overseas is finally over. He is no longer caged.
I heard you found someone else.
And that someone else is Benjamin Poindexter. Jessica and Luke embrace as Matthew is heading to a slammer. We see Heather is holding the mask of Muse, putting it on, and in the reflection, she sees herself happy, as if this was always who she was meant to be. Matthew walks past the task force members, all being arrested. But as for Fisk, he now stands alone on the beach. He and Vanessa embrace that. And obviously to Fisk, this is terrible. But in reality, this is the best possible outcome. Being in jail is terrible. No freedom, no baddies. Bro, that's torturous. But with that was Daredevil Born Again, the complete story. Let me know how you guys felt about it. Thanks for watching. Peace.